Bang! Neevesknives. I'm Jared. My lovely wife, Kara, will be joining us in 1 minute. She's finishing getting ready. I seen Lacey asks if you appeal a video being taken down and then the decision stands, is there anything you can do? Well, yes, what you can do is you have to reappeal it. So the first thing, it's always going to be a robot. So it's not even a human that looked at it. A robot decided it. You got to appeal it until eventually a human looks at it. And after a human looks at it, that way, then it'll stand or fold. Now, here's the problem. If you push it and push it and push it and you're full of shit, they will take down your channel for stuff like that. So you have to be seriously right. Like, you can't be wrong. So if it goes past their guidelines and then you appeal it, they'll warn you and they'll say, listen, if this keeps going, then, you know, if you're lying, basically, then we're going to take strict measures. Yeah. So what but it depends on what it's on, though. But yeah, sometimes they'll allow you the second time you appeal to give them a link. To something so that somebody can verify it and stuff. Like the last one we had was like that. What was it for? Music that was free license music, and they struck us on it, and then we sent them a link to the free music, like 5 of them, and then they automatically like let it go. But you're talking about something that has to do with dangerous acts. So like I said, if it actually is dangerous acts and it voids their thing, be careful, because if you continue to push and you're wrong, they will do something to you. They will, your channel will be hit bad. Sometimes it's better to just accept it and just move on. Like, it's not worth the fight sometimes, unless if you are like 100% in the right, and in that case you'll win. I don't want a little knife talk. I want a lot of knife talk. We're gonna get into a lot of knife talk then.
Hey, you know what's funny? Me and Sam's Logical were playing Elden Ring.
Yeah.
And he was like, I got a kukri. And I was like, those are throwable kukris. And he was like, what? Because like kukris really aren't throwing knives in reality.
I'd throw one.
He was like, I'm so upset that the first weapon I pick up, I'm all excited it's a kukri, and it's a throwing kukri.
I used to have some throwing kukris, smaller ones, like about this big.
But like, no, these were like depicted like they were regular, but like not.
So Aaron B says, would you freehand on a 6x1 stone? Yes. Or only use on, I freehand on, like, when I learned how to freehand, I actually learned on 1x6s. That's what I learned how to freehand on. I would do them like this in hand, and then I also would sometimes put them on the bench and use them. But all of my first stones, like the biggest stones I had for the first 2 years were 2x6. And then a lot of them were thin, small, because I couldn't afford the big ones. So I wanted the quality stones, but I couldn't afford the quality ones or the big ones. So I had to, you know, buy what I could. But no, 6x1's fine. You can freehand on them. In some cases, they work even better, because like, the thing is, and if you watch my how to create a convex edge, it teaches you exactly how to do in-hand sharpening, because that's what you're going to do. When you do in-hand sharpening, you're going to convex a little bit. The better you get, the less you're going to, but you're going to, because your hand's moving and the knife's moving. You're like this. So, but it makes it to where your eyes are nice and close to it, so you can really hold your angle. Like, it does help you a lot. I'm thinking about getting SE6. Nice. So I do want to, before we move on, I do want to thank everybody that backed us up or backed me up in the whole BS that was going on with Liang Ma. And if you guys want to talk about it in this live, we can talk about it, because I think, you know, I should do that. You know, like, I haven't talked really anybody besides in like chats, and it all did go down. So the last live stream, we said that we'd do it on the next one.
Yeah, except for after that, no more.
But then after that, yeah, we're just gonna, leave it alone after that. I don't, want no bully bullshit. I don't want to do anything like that. He did apologize. I did accept it. I don't believe it, but I did accept it. I wish him well. I don't, because I have no animosity towards him, but I will say this though, that I think it is disingenuous. I do not believe him, not even a little bit. I think he only did it to save face.
Well, if my view is that if it was legit, it would have been done when the post was taken down and the new one came up. It should have been like, hey, I hear you guys about the D10 and I want to apologize for the words I said in the previous post, because that would have all been pre-backlash, or there was still backlash before that, but like it would have been probably the appropriate time for it to still seem genuine.
So I think the reason why I think is because he literally deleted everybody's message saying anything negative about what happened. After he came and apologized and stuff like that, and it's like, why are you deleting? Like, why aren't you saying like just talking to the people, right? Like, if you've mucked up, talk to the people that are talking to you. I understand you might not be able to get to all 10,000 of them, but at least you'll have a track record inside the messaging of talking to them instead of just deleting them. So that makes it look bad. It makes it look like you know you're just trying to save face right now, like but you know, which obviously he is, right? Obviously, and I understand why he would want to do that. But I honestly, I truly think, and I, like I said, I don't want to sit here and drag the guy. I don't want to say anything personal about him, but I don't think he's a good person. I really don't. This has just been way too many times. Like literally, this has happened so many times. I couldn't tell you how many people have came to me and told me about the problems they've had, like with everything. And even myself, like when I tried to do the warranty work, like you guys don't even know, man, it was a bunch of BS. Like he forgot about me. He fucking left me on ghost for a while, took forever to message me back, then was out of town. Like it was just one thing after another.
The initial request was October 10th and it wasn't fulfilled to be sent out until December 10th.
So, and that was just for screws. Anyways, regardless of that, like, but a lot of people have messaged about so many problems with them. And then you guys remember the Fuller Fanatic thing? Like, listen, I didn't like, okay, so when it first happened, I actually took Leon Moss' side. I messaged him and everything. Yeah. This is the message we never talked about. The first time I ever messaged him was because I heard about the Fuller Fanatic. I never heard his side yet, but only his.
And then you offered to give him free advertising.
I've offered to help. I offered to fucking help. And he ignored me, right? He ignored me. Then the Fuller Fanatic thing came out and I thought like, oh shit, I might have just messed up. Like because I don't know who's in the right now. I remember
saying that to you too. Like, don't stand up and agree on someone's
I didn't agree with anything. I just
no, I mean till both. Like I remember talking about that with you, thinking like.
But it's just the kind of person I am, and it's you know, especially because you know, obviously it would be a win-win for me.
Literally, I told you every time.
What?
Every time we like, if I say one thing where we disagree,
thanks, Pablo.
Everyone's like, "Don't fight, mom and dad."
That's true, boo. That's true. Yeah, I
just sucked up a ball of cinnamon in my throat.
Mike, thank you for the 2 bones. Off to dinner with the family, man. Good luck, man. Have a good night. That's always a good time.
Nuts.
Thanks for responding to me on Instagram. I try to respond to everybody.
We got a lot right now.
There's a lot. You guys got to understand. Like every time when I go on the requests, there's like 20 to 30 messages.
Yeah.
So, and then that's not including all the ones I have like that are, you know, ongoing already. So just, you know, give me some patience and some time to get to them. I try to get to everything. 100% did it because of the highly negative reaction seen. Of course, nothing more, nothing less. The drug thing alone was a huge low blow, and I'll never buy anything with his name on it again. Yeah, I won't either, but it's more because like this whole thing has really, because before I always thought like, and I literally, because this has been going on since even before the thing with Fuller Fanatic, you know, I always thought like, man, because people say some stuff about him, and I always thought, you know, people just talk about people, you know, when you're a big, you know, in any industry, you're going to be talked about. Mm-hmm. But then one thing after another, and I always thought like maybe he's not like that good of a person. Then when this happened, it's like, oh well, yeah, of course not. Like he's obviously, you know, I said I'm not going to say anything bad about the guy, but it's obviously not, you know, a good person. So, oops. And I don't want to do business with somebody who's going or promote somebody's stuff who I think could possibly screw somebody over or talk crap about them or just, you know, treat them in a negative way. Listen, I've said it a million times. I love his designs. I really do. I will not deny that. I've always loved his designs.
Did you not notice?
Yeah, see man.
Oh, you did? Oh, I didn't know if you knew
Um,
I did that and it was still there.
But I heard you fucking banging on the walls.
Did you? When did you first notice though? Because you walked in
Today.
here oblivious as hell
Today.
for like 2 days.
Today.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I love his designs. I love his designs, but that's, you know, it can only go so far, right? Like it goes so far to the point to where it's like, well, am I willing to support the guy, right? Because a lot of designers and a lot of knife makers, man, you're doing it to support them, right? Like there's like, think about custom knife makers, like a lot of people in here, right, that are custom knife buyers. They pick custom knives in many cases based on the relationship and the person that's making it because they like them. They think they're a good person. They might relate with them somehow. They might be from the same city, state, like so many different reasons. But if you like really think somebody's bad, like, do you really want to, you know, it's just my opinion. Like, obviously, you guys are going to do what you want. Like, I wouldn't blame you if you bought his designs in the future because they're really good designs in many cases. And because Riat does it, they're executed well, right? Because they usually do them. But when you don't do prototypes, this is what happens. You can't be that fucking confident about your ability to design a knife, especially when, like, I see this is where I'm like confused, right? Because I'm truly confused about this part, right? Because some of his designs in the past were really good, but there were things that made them where it's like, man, it's great design, but this, right? The plunge grind choils, access to lock bars, things like that. So a knife person, like somebody who uses knives and really appreciates knives, is going to want those things. Like, but then it's like, I know there's a couple makers out there that don't really care about that. There's some custom makers that don't care about that. Like even like Medford and stuff, like they've, you know, they're better than his, but you know, still though, they could be better. But anyways, but it makes me wonder, like, though, that is he really a good knife designer, or is he just lucky because Riat's doing them? All right, because that's where it boils down to. It's not too often shit comes out of Riat, right? So the fact that this came out from Riat, I mean, it's either one, you know, it's just him, or two, it's because he didn't do prototypes and nobody got to tell him, and he didn't care, right? Which obviously he didn't, because most people do that, or most designers do.
Cue Ball, thank you for the 5 bones. I would like to point out that I am here, and so is Cue Ball. I'm not Cue Ball.
Oh, but you are on your phone right now.
I'm not Cue Ball.
What are you doing over there?
Everyone thinks that you're me, Cue Ball, or something. That I'm
He did. Oh,
yeah. I was gonna comment on that. So he said, Jared, your response showed a lot of class. By the way, I deserve half the credit for that because I helped. Mad respect. Young should have apologized to you in private. That would have been the right thing to do. To be fair, he did in fact do that before the public apology. However, I couldn't tell you which one was worse, to be honest, between the private and the public. I believe the private one said something like, Jared, sorry, I take back my words. That was what it said. Jared did respond. It was after the public apology came out, and he said, I accept your apology. I wish you the best. And then I believe he hearted the message. It was
so short, and so like it's like
he didn't even say like,
you know,
thanks
and listen,
for
I didn't even expect an apology, to be honest. And he did message me and asked me to get on the phone. He did apologize.
No, he just said, do you have a minute? He didn't say
do you have a minute? Right. But I figured that was on the phone because somebody else contacted me and asked and said that he wanted to get on the phone with me. And I don't want to get on the phone with him. I have nothing to say to him. I accepted his apology. I'm gonna move on. Like it's I wish him well, but I just, like I said, you know, I honestly think it's fake, and I don't think he's a good person. So, you know, and like I said, I truly, and I've always said this, like, I want everybody to succeed in this industry. I really do. I want everybody to make money. I want everybody to fucking kick ass. And I don't wish nothing on him, like nothing. However, I also don't wish for the community to be screwed over by somebody that's not a good person. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, you're kind of caught in between. So to me, it's a no-go for me, right? I just can't recommend this shit no more. I'm just gonna stay away from it. And if people ask me in the future, right, you know, you guys probably can, you know, think about what my response is going to be. Robert with the 2 bones. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the donations, guys. Thank you guys so much. And thank you guys for having my back. I've seen a lot of your guys' messages. I tried to go through them all because it really meant a lot that you guys like straight up had my back 100%. 20,000. I don't even know how many views it's got now, but it's got over 20,000 and over 1,000 comments.
So
Probably
hot
well
here.
over 1,000. I'm not even sure how many, but a lot of comments. So, you know, I wanted to get through as many as possible. I couldn't get through them all, but I tried because it meant so much that you guys were having my back, and like 99.99% of them were on my side. So, and I appreciate that so much. And a lot of you guys told some stories and talked about, you know, things that you guys have dealt with in the past and everything. And that's awesome that you guys were willing to say that stuff.
I literally was just gonna tell you to click on that comment because I wanted to say something.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go
Hey
ahead.
Jared, are you sick of all the designer knives these YouTubers are having made in China? They are charging what established companies charge or more. Actually, low key, I feel that a little bit. I just made a comment about this the other day. I think anybody should take their crack at it, but I do think that being a little bit on the inside of some of this on the business end and knowing what I know about cost and profit margins, that some of these people taking a first crack at it with nothing else but just their random name and channel are literally trying to rob people with the price.
Yeah, I tell you guys when I think something's overpriced, and I've been very, unless if I don't know, right? Because there's been times where I didn't talk about the price because I just didn't know it. But usually when I know the price, I usually say whether or not I think it's justified or not. But yeah, there's a lot of times when it's not justified. 100%. There's a lot of times
You have
when
to
it's
have
overpriced.
some. You have to be a little bit humble about stepping
Wait a
onto the
second. Wait a
scene,
second
though.
though. I will fucking stand on this till the day I die. I don't care how much they ask for. I don't care one bit. They can ask for $1 million. It's up to you whether or not you want to pay for it or not. Now, whether or not they can sell that knife for that amount, it's on you guys, right? Like, I know there's a line that I will not cross. So if the market's not there, then they won't sell it. So that's how it's got to be, right? Remember, these guys are here to make money. You can't be mad at them making money, right? You can be mad at them stealing your money, but not if you give it for, you know, the thing. Like, it's like coffee, right? Think about the markup on coffee, right? If you know what it takes to make one cup of coffee, you wouldn't pay $7 from a Starbucks, right?
Actually,
But you do.
that's very fair because just so you guys know, 1 5-pound bag of beans that makes the regular coffee at Starbucks, if I sell one medium/grande 16-ounce cup of coffee, it pays for all 5 pounds. It's a massive profit margin. Okay, Bobby numbers. Tell me why I literally said this to Jared when I first heard that comment. That was my exact statement, was that two things are wrong. If you make the crackhead comment, right, and you don't know about the past, then to me it just shows how removed you are from everything, right? To not be aware, to at least just not do research on who you're talking about, I guess, before you make a bold statement.
Yeah, he might not know.
No, I don't think he did, which I think is equally as bad. But
I thought, you know, and this is just a conspiracy, but I thought he possibly looked at my sub count and saw 245.
Thought it was 245,
and then realized after, fuck, there's a K in front of that shit.
But yeah, no, either way, but when I saw that hashtag, you bought your subs, and the fact that he even watched the review at all, that tells me that there is some level of, I've seen you. Now,
somebody probably sent it to him.
Has he watched a live and stayed till the end and heard story time?
Probably not.
Probably not. But I'm a thorough person, so if I was gonna do what he did the way he did it, I would like even when I reply to comments that are like rude as fuck in our comment section, I'll click on your fucking page and look and see who you are and everything before I respond, just because I want to be thorough about what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yes, lead, it can get expensive, but it is a great hobby. A lot of people are obviously in the knife community, and it's fun. It's which one? I already showed him, I think.
No, yeah. I've had it with me all day. There's no way.
Oh, not that one. Okay.
Wait, what did you show me?
Just give me a second. But yes, the community is awesome, and it's a great community. It's a very welcome community. Sometimes there's some shitheads, but for the most part, it's a fantastic community.
Hi, Josh. Hi.
No, I was talking about the little sheepdog.
Sheepdog. Can I?
How could you release a design with no detent, with no ball detent? Isn't he concerned with It had a detent. It just was entirely way too small.
It was the same as like a micro knife.
Yeah, I measured it. It was
Oh.
0.588 or something like that. But normal, they're like 0.62.
One little
something like that. Don't quote me.
One other thing that because I'm pretty sure every statement in the original post, there is at least one thing in each part that was absolutely incorrect. For instance, you lost a screw and asked for it. We didn't lose a screw. It was like there was like a thing for everything that wasn't true. Another huge misconception is like towards the end, he's like, you couldn't tell me if you felt unsafe with my knife. Jared never used the word unsafe. That started to get.
I might have.
No. You didn't? No, you didn't.
Are you sure? I might have.
Well, I thought I went back and looked and didn't see it.
I might have.
But okay, even if you said it one time in the video, let's just say that you used the phrase one time.
Maybe I said
the overarching theme was about the small detent ball, not bitching about, oh my god, I'm gonna cut my fingers off. This is dangerous. No one should buy it. This is a lawsuit nightmare. Like that energy wasn't put out in the review whatsoever. But a lot of feedback came in, like, you're calling a guy's knife unsafe and you're not even calling him first and stuff like this. And it was nobody was ever trying to make it sound like it was a finger guillotine.
The thing is that all his designs before that had nice, stout, good, strong detents. So everybody buying that expected it to have that type of detent, which is Riyadh. Riyadh does incredible detents. Why would he? For some reason, I don't know if it was whose decision it was.
It was a joint decision, because he said in one of his posts that they spoke about this and decided that it was better to be that size.
Right,
it was a joint thing.
Which I don't agree with.
Riyadh put it together, but he's involved in most of the steps.
You have to make a detent that small in order for the front flipper to work. Change your front flipper.
Okay, this is the way I explain it to everybody. If you have a ball and a straight stick and you want to push the stick over that ball, if you have your stick sticking straight up, it's easy with the equilibrium to knock it over. If this is your stick and you want to knock it over the ball, right? It's going to be harder. This is how his front flipper was. It probably should have been more like this to give you it's basic like leverage, you know what I mean? But anyway,
it's his design, guys. It's his design. He's the one who came with the drawing or whatever, they just made it.
What you have to understand is there's multi-levels of knife companies, right? So you can have somebody who's a designer, but their name is on the knife of the manufacturer. So like Riyadh makes it, but then like
facts. You said the same thing.
Okay, Riyadh makes it. Riyadh, damn it, baby.
Go ahead.
Riyadh makes it, but Ken Onion designs it, right? Ken Onion's name is on it, but Riyadh's responsible for like QA because they made the knife. He designed it. Now,
no, he's fucking responsible.
Listen
for
to
that.
me.
What are you talking about?
Let me finish. Holy shit. In Liang Ma's case, Riyadh's name is not on the knife.
Oh, right.
Chill. He made a whole company, right, where he's the designer, but it's his name on the knife, so he's choosing to keep the OEM off the knife. So that means he is 100% responsible. It's his name for every quality assurance check. Now, does Riyadh do QA? Probably, but because it's only his name on the knife, he's responsible for what then goes out to customers, warranty, all that stuff. Now,
quality control.
Right, he's the middleman. Some designers don't middleman the knives. They design it, put their name on it, and the company makes it, and they say, hey, we got Ken Onion to design our knife.
It's in the company's best interest to do a quality control check before they go out the door so that more don't get returned. Because otherwise they'll just get returned and get changed. Kind of like Asher Knives right now, right? Asher Knives just said he got the knives in, right? But he's not willing to send them to people. He quality controlled, checked them, obviously, and he's sending them back. So that's what's supposed to happen. They are supposed to be that line between you and the knife to make sure you get a quality knife. If they
decide to put only their name on it.
James K, thank you for the donation.
What does that
I appreciate
mean?
the 2 bones because of the Chinese ball that's flying over Montana. Do you know? No?
Yeah, no, I knew.
Okay,
You told me.
So it's a joke. I think they shot it down, right? Because
that's what he said.
I seen a video. Yeah, well, I'm saying I seen a video of something that got shot down over Montana, so I'm guessing it was that. LUC Knives, if you guys don't know, that is a knife sergeant. So salute to him. Yeah, do what I do and fuck up a bunch of knives on a grinder for a while. There you go.
How you get better.
That's how you, yeah. We have a new member. Edward, thank you for joining.
AKA Steve Kilby.
Steve Kilby. Also, I do want to shout out a couple channels here really quick. Robert Thank you for the 2 bones. You're my favorite knife channel. Praise the steel. Thank you, man. And man, that means a lot. I do appreciate it. It seriously means a lot. All the comments, man, when you guys make, because you guys gotta understand, man, I can't do this without you guys. And without the support, the community, and you guys, like, this doesn't exist. So, and I 100% know that. And I am very, very grateful and thankful to have all the support. Q and Fiend with the 5 bones. If I can quote the picture of Dorian Gray these days, people know the price of everything and the value of nothing. Wait, I'm from Wisconsin. Yes, I am in Illinois. Yes, I'm an Illinois boy.
I should have been a lawyer. You guys are right.
Nicholas says he has absolutely screwed himself, and now he has to live with that. But you know,
people forget and move on. Though,
yeah,
90% of the people that said I'm never gonna buy a knife again, I promise you they will. Like, as much as I hate to say that, like,
it's up to you guys if you guys do.
And
or not,
I don't give a shit. Like, we don't care. Like, don't not buy something for us. You know what I mean? Like, or Jared rather.
Right, but if you're not going to do it off of merit, like off of him just not being
good customer service, right. You know. Anybody that says they're all about customer service in the same sentence as calling a customer a crackhead is highly delusional and hypocritic. I'm just gonna say that. Right. Can I please show my knife? Please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, guys, check this out. You're gonna love it. It's a square. That's a knife.
Turn it around. There goes my foot.
No, nobody's feetsies got hurt because it's a rectangle. You can't get hurt by a rectangle. So this is the walnut. I realized that we had some points with Mojave Outdoors, and so I was like, let me spend them, boys. And look, check this thing out. It's a double detent knife. Look, fully flickable. You're fine. Fully flickable. Look at this. You guys see that? I love it. You know why? This is the perfect knife to open a box when you have something in the box that you don't accidentally want to pierce. So you use this tip right here, and then no more like tip, could go in. It's like the perfect box cutter, and it's double detent, so it just goes wham, closed. And then it also has a really, 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 really nice finger choil in it, which helps you, literally keep the blade open. There's a lot less risk of like closing a double detent on yourself when you have the finger choil on the blade, because that's more leverage pushing back the knife open instead of being all in on the handle and worrying about something knocking it shut. The finger choil gives you full control. I love this thing. I think it's hilarious, and it honestly has dope action. Am I right?
Yeah, it does.
The action is sick.
Yeah.
It really is. Oh, and there's actually jimping around this corner here, so you can actually front flip.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even that bad. It was like 50-something bucks.
It comes with a different clip too.
Look at that! Look at that fat chode of a clip.
It comes with a better clip.
It's literally
regular.
It's literally a double.
It's like it's a money clip.
It's like, yeah, but it's like a double deep carry.
Louis says, seems logical. Super Still Steve is making me a knife as we speak. He is not an asshole. He is very real and doesn't put up with the BS. He will put you in your place if you need it. I love Steve. I think Steve's an awesome dude.
Same.
I think he's inherently a really, really good person. I know a lot of people think that because things happen in the community and there's certain people that help bring light to it. Now, some people think that it's like just drama and this and that. I got to disagree. And the reason why is because I think that if certain people in this community are literally like the sheepdogs of the community, they're the ones standing in the front lines, like holding back the wolves, so to speak. Right. And I know that that's a little bit of a crazy way to say it, but it is true. There's a lot of people that, if not questioned, we've already seen, look at just everything that's happened over the past year, right? If not questioned and not brought to light, these people would be ripping people off and screwing people over. Like, it takes, there has to be some people in the community like that, and we should be thankful for them. And could they sometimes go a little overboard? Maybe. But isn't that the best thing that can happen so that other people don't fall? Because think about it. A lot of people, like she was saying earlier, forget really quickly. Mm-hmm. And people realize they're like, I'll lay low for 6 months and then I'll come back to the scene. And a lot of people forget. So I think sometimes, making a scene does benefit the community so that people realize and they're like, okay, I don't want to be that fucking guy. But yeah. I think Steve's a great dude.
I don't know how good this knife would be at prying. Seems logical. I would be worried to do. I would be worried to do something like prying with this only because of the double detent. Because I feel like you could get up in something, and then if you just move slightly the wrong way, I feel like it could. I mean, double detent knives are kind of low key dangerous if you're not only doing the appropriate tasks with them. Like for instance, like you probably don't really want to use this grip unless you're pushing on something really hard and your fingers are absolutely out of the way. Like you have to be more conscious, and I would be a little afraid to pry, although it would have been cool as hell if they had chiseled the front of this like a razor. For those of you that don't know, the Graham stubby razor is like my ultimate grail, and unfortunately John Graham passed, and so I feel like I'm never going to get the opportunity to have one. So anytime I like see like a knife where I feel like it could be like that, it makes me want it more.
That's why I bought the Field Duty 3.5 is because of the hype of the detent of the 4.0. I agree. Me too.
Is there a magnet in this?
What magnet?
Feel it how that closes.
That's the detent.
But
it's a double detent.
Oh right, double right. There's one.
But yeah, I thought the same thing, and that's why I wanted. Between knives, guns, watches, cars, etc., and I see an overlap in these spaces because we tend to appreciate quality mechanical things. Facts. Absolutely. Yeah, but even without a taller flipper, the detent definitely could be stronger without sacrificing me. Well, I strengthened mine. Like I strengthened mine as strong as it would go without having problems, right? And it's as strong as it could be. It's a lot better. Is it great? No. It's not possible to be great because the detent is too small. But it's as good as this knife can get, and I can still easily use the front flipper, like very easily. So could it be stronger? Yes, it could be stronger. But if you're gonna have problems with people using the front flipper, don't put it. You don't sacrifice.
Either don't put the hole or don't put the
right. You don't sacrifice one for the other.
You don't make a non-functional aspect of your knife just to put it there to say I have more deployment options if they're non-functional. Sweetheart, love of my life, my sweet pumpkin pie.
Yes,
you are so far behind in the comments.
All right, I'm catching up, guys. Guys, if you guys have anything you guys want to say that I did not get to, just leave it again. I'm sorry, I got to catch up. I'm backed up. Zacko Riot with 2 bones, BladeHQ.com price hike. I know, man.
What's the Matsy? I didn't see that.
I just, I literally did not know that until I seen your post. Okay, so trust me, when I linked it, when I did the video, I didn't know that they were going to do that. So I'm going to reach out to them and fucking bitch. I don't know if it'll help, but I'm going to try.
Do you like this?
Yeah,
I very much like this.
I know, but they raised the price after my video.
Oh my God. And look, check this out. That cutout, that gives like small people hands a really good grip because it has a nice nook in there where you can just like dig in, and I have no extra hanging out on my hand. But like if you have a bigger hand, you could probably put middle finger in there, choke up right here with this bad boy, and then have like a whole extra like spot for your big fat hands. You know what I mean? But if you don't have,
what does that sound?
Is your computer on? But yeah, if you don't have large hands, this is, I like this. Holy cow. I really like this. The liner feels really or frame. Is this considered a frame?
Yeah. It's a bolster lock frame lock.
It's a fliner lock. And the fliner lock, it is a little, I don't like the access down here, but up at the top, it's fine. If you push.
Well, yeah,
it's a little.
Neeves, I'm doing a random giveaway tomorrow. Knife-tastic donated another knife to be included. Nice. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Okay, like I said, I am catching up. I'm just going to fly all the way down. I'm sorry, guys, if I missed you. Dennis with the 5 crackers, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Of course, he's an asshole, and he will never change no matter what he says. Throwing low blows like he did is a coward move. A rat is a rat. Hashtag bang gang.
Bang gang.
I agree, man. I agree because we know how men deal with shit, right? Like, and you deal with it appropriately. You deal with it like a gentleman. Now, if it comes time to not be a gentleman, that's different. Mom's here. Hey, Mom. Dennis with another 5 crackers. There are 3 people why I got sharp knives. Jared, Lacey, and Steve. Forever thankful. Awesome, man.
What?
I love hearing that. What's wrong?
It's coming from my phone.
Hey, Jared, I think it's really cool how you're open about your past. I also used to be an opiate addict, and getting into knives has really helped me. Yeah, it definitely helped me massively. I got into the community actually like when I was like getting off. So yeah, it saved my life for sure. And I had a lot of work to do, and you know, it was hard getting it's hard getting out of a very criminal mindset, right? To the point to where you're changing every aspect of your life down to the way you speak, and it's been hard work, but I've came a long way.
You do know why you were able to stop, though, right?
Because I'm a baby.
Well, what happened? No. Just check this out, because what happens is sometimes when you have a bad habit, right? Like let's say you're a thief, you need to channel that thief energy somewhere else. And so this guy, what he did is he said, instead of stealing things from people, I'm gonna steal this girl's heart. That's what he did.
Let's be clear though, I wasn't like I did burglaries and robberies and shit, but I wasn't like a thief. Like I was.
Oh yeah, that's totally separate.
I know it doesn't make sense, but like
separate.
Fucking doing heists and shit's a little bit different than
because you heisted this heart. You know what I'm saying? Why aren't you using these lines?
Jared, which would you prefer between?
You should use those lines.
What?
Why aren't you using those lines? Why don't you say stuff like that to me? Why don't you be like, yeah, babe, I used to steal shit, but now I'm stealing that heart. I'd be like, oh.
Jared, would you prefer between the Spartan Hearts at 3.95 and the McNeeves?
You pick that Spartan.
I personally probably pick the Spartan, but then do a hollow. Wait a second.
What?
But I would do a hollow grind. Either way, I think the Max 3.5 is probably a little bit more friendly, and I mean that because I think you're more likely to carry it more than the Spartan Heartsy. The Spartan Heartsy is a big knife. The McNeeves is, you know, a regular size knife. But either way, whichever one you go with, put a BGM, a regrind on it. You'll be thanking me later. Trust me. Both of them are thick boys, and it would only help it. I take that back. Kara shouldn't have been a lawyer. She should have been a psychologist.
Boy, your mom's coming up.
Kara and Jared always was a smoozer.
Well, where's your schmooze right now?
Oh, baby.
Let me have a line.
Come on.
Give me your best. No, I want your best pickup line. Pick me up.
I already have.
No, I'm backing off, and you need to do it again, or we're done. Right. Pick me up.
Jared, the windshield
is man.
Come on, baby. Come on, stop.
Just do the Tennessee one. You're the only 10 I see. Done.
Jared, the windshield is always bigger than the rear view mirror, brother. Keep on keeping on. That's true.
Wait. Read that again. Is it like hindsight is 20/20? Yes, is that what he's saying? Right. Okay.
Exactly. Good. Exactly. Good job.
Thanks. I worked hard on that.
Leon sending. Thank you for the 2 bones. Leon sending that balloon to Jared too. I see you do say that in the Instagram. That was hilarious. So I want to shout out a channel which is Ace on Knives. He recently started a channel. I went and checked him out earlier. He's hilarious. Go and check him out. I actually checked out a few channels, but I'm going to shout his out now and maybe shout out the other one later. I have also one more to shout out. So there's actually 2 I'm going to shout out, but there's one more that I'm going to shout out the next time. But AOC is, you know,
that's a bad name.
I know.
Big their name.
But Ace on Knives.
There you go.
Go check him out. He does these like knife fights and stuff. He's hilarious. He's got like a lot of humor.
Fight like Mortal Kombat?
No, like he tells these stories. Like he went out to eat, right? And the waitress kept bumping the person's chair that he was with. So he him and his boy planned on stabbing her, right?
Yeah,
like,
naturally.
Shanking her in the thigh, right?
Natural.
All right, but he's so good that she wouldn't even know she got stuck. Because, you gotta watch it.
Because that sounds thoroughly.
No, but it's this knife fight thing that he's got going on, and it's hilarious.
I'll have to take your word for it.
You should.
I would. I believe you.
All right, so I want to talk about one more though. Really
I trust you always.
And that is
blindly.
Actually, I'm just gonna pull it up for you guys because I got it right here. Old Bubs. Old Bubs. Definitely go and check him out. He's obviously recently started a channel as well. Go and give him some love. Old Bubs. What a name.
Why don't you answer that?
I can't see it. Which
right
one?
There.
This one?
Yeah, why don't you read that and answer that?
You accepted his apology and y'all are continuing to trash him for 30 minutes. wait a second. I accepted apology because I'm not going to sit there and I don't have hatred for him.
I thought
I'm
you were
not
going to answer it calmly.
What? Why just ignore him? I haven't. What do you mean just ignore? I didn't ignore him. I accepted it.
We said we were going to answer questions tonight because
And
we
I
didn't
said
get an
tonight,
opportunity
I'm going because I haven't talked to anybody since it happened. I said I'm going to take this live, talk about it. After this, we're not talking about it anymore. That's what I said in the beginning of this. So I'm not sitting here trying to drag it out or anything like that. But I think the people deserve to be able to ask questions about it and things like that, and understand, you know, like some of the stuff that maybe I didn't say in the video or what happened afterwards and things like that. Especially when it's somebody so prominent in the knife community that people spend tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars on. Like, think about that. Like, that's a fucking lot of money to be spending on a knife from somebody who could possibly be ripping everybody off or is just, you know, a bad guy. Like, and like I said, I have no animosity towards him. I just don't think he's a good person. And I don't think he's good for the community, especially because of the track record, right? Like, it's not about what happened to me. Like, if this was the only thing, like, I would probably
had a bad night.
Yeah, that's right. I would literally chalk it up to you as probably drunk, probably hungover, probably just, you know, was that type of that one of those days. But this has been ongoing since I joined the community. I've heard shit from about this guy.
Why is your cheek red?
From the razor from at the barber.
Oh.
I guys like that
I thought you were getting that worked up for a sec.
Did you know the good Taco Bell can make your whole week? But bad Taco Bell can make your whole week.
That's funny. I don't know if that was a pickup line, but it was good.
That was a good one, yeah. Can't stick around tonight. All right, thank you for jumping in and at least leaving a comment. Can I buy you a drink or should I just give you the money?
I think that's a line for maybe like a sugar baby.
I think that, yeah. Mm-hmm. What do you want to bet that Leon Ma is here now? I mean, I don't know because I don't think he likes to see. Like I said, he deletes every comment that's bad towards him. I seen him leave a couple, like just like to make it look good. I think after I said something multiple times about him deleting comments, and I even said something in his comment section. I said that because somebody made a comment like talking about, you know, like people, and then I said, "Don't worry, he's going to delete them," and he did. But yeah, I mean, obviously he.
What knife did you show of mine that you said you already showed? When I went to pull out my walnut.
The sheepdog.
Okay, I'm gonna go get my other one.
But obviously, yeah, he's not trying to hide anything, right? Like, super transparent. Exactly. That's Jared's job, to be a gatekeeper so that we do not waste our hard-earned cash, especially in these hard times. Facts. Absolutely.
Can I show my other one?
Yes, baby.
Okay, guys, look. Okay, so Jared got me this for my birthday. He didn't want to get it for me, I don't think, but he did because I wanted it really bad. Look at this thing. I don't, and just to be clear, I'm not like a huge fan of this brand, but like I just saw this and I just wanted it, and now I want it in more colors because I actually like it. Look at it. Look at it. Come on. Nobody can hate this knife. If you hate the knife, then I don't know if we can be friends.
I thought that was the one you were going to pull out earlier.
No. I do like my wallet. Look at this thing. It's called the Abbey. It is a James brand knife. And, you know, the thing that really sucks is, like, their knives are a little overpriced. Yeah. And then the only one I've ever seen that I really wanted, of course, was, like, the only one that's, or one of the
This is actually affordable. It's kind of.
Yeah, it's like $80.
60, I think it's 60.
I think 70.
Okay, whatever.
Let's meet in the middle.
Meet in the middle.
But I think it was, like, one of their few that's not made in the USA, which does kind of suck. But, like, guys, it's so freaking cute, and it's like thin, and I don't know what this material is, but it's super smooth, and it's got this cute little sheath. But they do this material in this like crazy tie-dye color, so you like don't even know what color you're gonna get. This is the blacked out one.
It's still overpriced, but not compared to their other stuff. Piper, thank you for the 2 bones. I appreciate it, man. How good is Sencut? Really, they're really good. Sencut, especially for the price.
Yeah,
Sencut's fucking fire.
They're pretty good.
They're really good. They are. Damn. There's like a handful of budget companies that are really good for the money, and like is, you know, that's under $40, right? Or under $50, but really a lot of them are under $40. So, and they're one of them. So if you have $50 and that's all you have to spend, then they're a really good company. There's a few others too. Thank you, Knife Factor. I appreciate that. Yes, you heard 70, 75. I don't know. I think it was around there. I seen oh here's your belated birthday wishes from Cue Ball.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
I don't hear much news about Artisan Cutlery these days, so
Me
we're in
either.
contact with them right now. And actually, for any channels in here, just so you
Oh.
guys know, they're opening up their affiliate program. So before they had it where if you signed up or tried to sign up, you'd automatically be denied, but they are opening it up to other. So if you guys have channels or anything, you guys are able to sign up to their affiliate program if you guys want. Now go ahead, baby.
You need to share a sale account. So if you're a channel, you need to make an account with Share a Sale. You need to search for merchants, find Artisan Cutlery.
There's a lot of other companies
apply to their program, and they said that they are not against anyone having an affiliate. And you know, I've never understood why certain companies gatekeep their affiliate links so hard, because even if someone gets an affiliate link and they don't sell one thing,
what's the worst thing that happen?
Nothing happened. Like at worst, you got free advertising. At best, you made sales. So they understand that, right? So they're gonna you know, do that, which is cool. I don't know that they've done it yet though.
But yes, they do have some really good prototypes. They do have some cool stuff coming up. I've been like kind of wishy-washy on them. I think they have some really good models, and then they have some not so good. So I think it just depends, but I do think they have progressively gotten better over time, which is exactly what we want to see from companies. So I give them credit. They're doing pretty decent. What's my favorite retailer? Honestly, GP Knives, but because they're right here, like in Illinois, so I can get my knives fast. But the problem is that I don't. They most of the time don't have what I'm looking for.
Scroll down.
Like they literally are always out of stuff, and they'll get the stuff in, like some of the stuff that like I can link and that I want to buy. But then a lot of times, then I look there and it's like they don't have anything from this company. So like they're very limited compared to like Blade HQ. Blade HQ has like 10 times the amount of stuff as GP Knives. So you know, I mostly have to link from Blade HQ, but I link from GP Knives when I can, because I do think that they are a little bit better prices, and well, to me they're closer. To you guys, like it might not matter about that part. I just get the stuff faster. What's up, baby? Oh, we got a Scotty H with the 5 bones.
Gerard.
Have you ever used safety razors and scented soaps for shaving? I recommend you look into it. If not,
what?
I have.
Wait, no, what? What the fuck does that mean? What is that? Safety razors, like a box cutter?
No, it's dude, they have the replaceable razors. Like when I wouldn't got shit or my thing cut.
Yeah.
It was with the
They didn't use like a resharpenable straight razor?
No, they use a replaceable blade razor. They don't have time to start and sharpen it because then it just replace the blade. Right? Do you think that they would want to spend 10 cents on a blade or 50 cents on a blade, or spend 30 minutes sharpening? They're losing money by doing that.
Well, they can't sharpen it themselves. They would send it in.
Right. Most likely, and then they lose their knife.
How long does a straight razor stay viable for shaving without being sharpened?
Well, it depends on the steel, but probably a long time.
Let's say it's a good one.
They strap it up. They
sounds like it's about the difference between buying a car and leasing a car.
Anyways, I got one. I actually have 2. I used it a little bit, but you know, you got to get used to it.
What about scented soaps?
I do use scented soaps. Piper, thank you for the 2 bones. I appreciate it, man. Right now, like depending on what soap, but like for my hair stuff, I got the Beard brand. Is it Beard brand? Is that what it's called? Beard brand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Beard brand. I've linked in a bunch of videos, and then like what's that body that soap that Dr. was it? What was it? You got it for me.
The big fat bar.
Yeah. What was the name of that? Dr. Squatch or something?
Yeah, I think that is it.
Okay. I didn't think it was
They make the bar that's called the big ass bar of soap. Like that's the name of it. They made because I got Jared a tactical soap holder. That's what they called it, which I think is funny because they're really like they're kind of like being a little.
It's just it holds the soap bar in there, and so you can.
They're being a little facetious with it.
I use Tiege Hanley on my face, which I really like. Technically, we do have an affiliate link for it, but you guys don't like cleaning your faces, so or taking care and moisturizing. Seems logical. Thank you. This is
I'll
a
look
safety
at
razor.
it. I think I get
think
the
it's-
point
I
now,
think-
though. But I'll look.
Dr. Squatch, they have a strong advertising brand on YouTube. I see them all the time.
Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. They're big. They're
Was it
big
like this?
blocks. No, mine was. I was talking about a straight razor.
oh, I'm out of battery.
I was talking about a straight
Now you
razor.
guys
But
know my
no, at
phone's
the
on
place
charge.
I went to, they had a replaceable blade straight razor. Duke Cannon, that's what I got. I'm sorry.
Oh,
It's Duke
Duke
Cannon.
Cannon.
That's what it is. Duke Cannon.
Big ass. Yeah, that's
I don't
what
know
it
why.
is.
That's why I said when I said Doctor, I said, man, I don't feel like that's it. But yeah, it's Duke Cannon. That's what I got. For body soap.
Oh, sorry, I punched the mic.
But it's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Please forgive me.
I won't.
Okay.
Just don't do it again.
Okay. Sorry. You ever meet those people that cannot stop saying sorry? And then we were like, please stop. Like I had a girl that worked. Are you listening?
I'm listening.
I had a girl that worked for me that was like that, and she kept saying sorry all the time. I would tell her like, stop apologizing all the time. And then like when I would tell her to not
She
say
said
sorry,
sorry.
she'd be like, sorry. And I'm like, you said it again. She's like, sorry. Like she couldn't not do it. It was so funny.
If you like Beard Brand, you should check out Live Bearded. But that old money from Beer Brand is fire.
Yes. It
Yeah, I
is.
got the sea salt spray. That stuff's pretty good. I also have the Old Money shampoo and conditioner. I'm not a fan of the fragrance. I also have Smoke Temple or something like that. But I'm not a big fan of the fragrances. If you want to try, if you have a beard, their Bold Fortune is the best stuff that they have for beard oils. It is the smell of it is so good. If they made a fragrance of that, it'd probably be my favorite fragrance.
Somebody.
Formula One. Thank you for
Boink.
that. Boink.
Somebody
Finally.
in the chat has asked you a couple times
Yes,
what you think
yes.
about Lion Steel and that they've only ever seen you review one. Which I think
I've reviewed a bunch of different Lion Steel.
A bunch is probably a stretch. What do you consider a bunch? 3, maybe?
We're not.
What?
I don't know.
I think you're just saying stuff.
I have.
Yeah, you just pulled that one out your butt.
I got their Magna Cut Karambit. That's the one I can think of right now. It's the one with it's the Emerson design.
I have like a weird thing with Lion Steel. I've never not liked them, but then I got a weird taste in my mouth when all that HRC crap happened, and then and it just sort of made me feel like my money wasn't going to be spent well with them, even though it like probably wouldn't have affected me in any way. But like you get like that when you hear stuff like that, so I don't know.
But no, I want to get all of them on the channel. Any knife company out there, I want to have on the channel because that's my job. My job is to show you guys the knives that exist.
What about the new M-Tech like gold line where it's like they're trying to use real materials? Oh, Mr. Andy Knife on the channel. That changed real quick.
Like that.
They use like D2 and stuff.
I also don't want them
titanium.
Pakistani steel knives either. Why would I? Because I already know the shit.
Jared tried to convince me today that this person that wanted to work with us, they literally were selling knight swords and armor. And he wanted me to say yes. He literally wanted me to say yes to a full clad suit of armor, and he was gonna make me like go out in the yard, and he was gonna like hit me, you know, with a sword and see how good the armor was. And I was like, no, you wear the armor.
You have a great imagination.
But no, part of that story was true. They really did contact us, and they really do sell armor, and the swords were like legit made out of like kind of good stuff, but it still felt kind of like one of those scammy websites, but at the same time it didn't, but it did. I don't know, like they were making full-on partisans, scimitars, however you say that, like broadswords, bastard swords, like all types of craziness. Actually, seems logical. Might like it if it's actually legit.
Yeah, Milwaukee's not far from us. I've been to Milwaukee my whole life. But yeah, because like
we're just 2 shakes of a lamb's tail away.
Those of you that don't know, Chicago and Milwaukee, it's not one giant city, but it's from Chicago to Milwaukee. It's kind of like just a bunch of cities all the way to Milwaukee. So it's almost like one giant city in a way. They're very close. Somebody else explained, like if you go down south, right, and you go to a city and then go to a different city in that same state,
it's more barren in between.
You're not gonna. No, it's not. What are you talking
I'm
about?
agreeing with you.
Oh
So
yeah,
never-
it's more barren in between. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like when you drive from one city to the other, you're driving through cities.
Yeah.
So it's all like one
I would
city.
say some of them city is a stretch. I would say large towns that are bustling, but
They're literally the definition is cities.
actually if you really want to get
What are you talking about?
technical, that like where we live doesn't meet the definition of a city.
I'm not saying right here does.
But we're in the middle.
This would be like a village or something, but it's still, that doesn't mean that, you know, Lake County isn't a, you know, it's mostly cities in Lake County.
It's mostly
Just stop. It's a fucking highway stretch. When you drive on the highway, you're taking one fucking highway from one city to the another, and everything in between is all
populated.
It's all populated.
Yeah.
Right.
Well populated.
Right. So I don't know why you're trying to debate me on this.
No, you just said this definition
like
of city.
Everybody, like I remember somebody else said that to me like years ago and was talking about, and they had been like all over the world, and they were talking about how unique of a place this is because of that reason. I'm not saying like there ain't places like that, you know, in America too, but
yeah.
But when you get out like in the country areas and stuff like that, that stuff, it's usually not like that. Like unless you're like in LA, like LA would be like that.
It's like I told people, I've said before, like I never realized how much we had to do around here until like I traveled and stopped overnight, let's say, in another town and saw how nothing there was there. Like most towns in America are residential housing and restaurants, and that's it. They might have one claim to fame in their town of like a thing that's there, maybe like they have a racetrack or like one thing, but like where we live, there's lots of those things. Like we have ice rinks and bowling alleys and movie theaters and escape rooms and water parks and theme parks, and like there's nothing in some of these places, and you truly don't realize if you live in a populated area that's not a city but a town, but it's populated, how much you have to do until you go like to most, like I don't know, probably 70% of the country, and then I would imagine 10% of it's like empty, and then the rest is like full on city, you know, in terms of like square footage, not like population wise.
To get from here to Chicago is just one long stretch of highway. Facts.
Yeah.
You never pass fields. It's just almost like you never leave Milwaukee. Right. Exactly.
You pass some sneaky fields though. You just don't know they're there, because like even in our own town, we have like you wouldn't see it from the highway, but you are, you are like, what I mean, you are passing it. Like for instance, like in this town, I only have to drive 5 minutes to see a cornfield. They're all plopped in the middle. It's just
Illinois is full of cornfields.
Yeah, so they're so like, we are fortunate, and also we're fortunate to have a lot of open space still due to farmers, which should be supported in that, which is sad that a lot of them have had to, ex-nay the farms. But we're also fortunate due to like one thing Illinois did right in terms of like state tax money decisions is that we have more forest preserves here in Illinois than any other state in the country. Illinois has the most forest preserves over any other state.
The amount
of forest preserves, meaning like I'm not saying square footage, because the San Jose State Park in Colorado is probably bigger than all of ours combined.
There's probably some here that you can spit across.
But there is a couple small ones, but for the most part, they're big, and they do it to give place for coyotes and deer. Well, like the one that I can think of that's like a stone's throw from our house is, I think like if you did the full path of it, it's more than 15 miles round. So, I mean, they may not be like long, but they're like the paths that wind in them are substantial.
Transparent Night says, I live 30 minutes from Los Angeles, but I don't leave my house. So it's like nothing exists anyway. Get out of the house, man.
Look at Josh. Josh's comment. Sneaky fields, because that's what I said. I didn't realize I said that. Driving by some sneaky fields. There are sneaky fields.
Yeah, I live in LA. I wouldn't leave my house either if I lived in LA. The old Chicago is gone. Ready for the burbs.
What burbs? It's all one city, according to Jared.
I didn't say there wasn't suburbs.
What?
Of course there's suburbs.
You said they were all cities.
No, I'm saying, what are you talking about? A city can be a suburb.
No, it can't.
Yeah, by okay, you could say the city of Waukegan, right? Does it not have suburbs? Yes, it does. The city of Zion, the city of Kenosha, they all have. I think that
some
might be a village,
of them are, but most of them are the town. and then township.
They have townships, they have villages. Of course, there's all
Village,
those, but there's
township,
still
town.
cities
They
all
actually
around.
all.
I'm
I
not.
remember learning about those things in the definitions at one point, and there's actually like very specific requirements of like the way that they cut. You
Even
know,
Chicago, the city itself has suburbs,
it has neighborhoods.
which are suburbs.
Okay.
If you're not downtown,
Oh,
you're in the
you.
suburbs.
I'm sorry. You mean outside of the
Of
city limits,
right?
Oh, I thought you meant that the neighborhoods in the city were suburbs.
No, they have downtown, and then they have the suburbs, which are around. Anyways, go ahead. What were you saying? You were saying something. Never mind.
Nope. Just that the definitions are more specific than people realize.
There's a there's a lot
For
of
what
different ones. Like you
qualifies?
said, you have villages, townships, cities, then
Counties.
well, counties would be the big part that the cities are in.
Hmm.
But I'm saying like when it breaks it down like per thing.
The smallest
Like,
thing is
and
a
then
township.
What's that thing called when you're outside of the city? You're like outside, like say Pleasant. No, not Pleasant Prairie. Wadsworth. When you're outside of the city.
You know, I could have told you if you didn't say that. It's when your address, they say that it's not undisclosed. That's not the word.
Something.
Something. It's
yeah, I can't think of it.
It's like you're not part of anything technically. So you are what? Somebody please tell me, because I know the word.
Yeah.
Unlisted? No.
Not townships. No. Where you're like, where it's like there's two cities that maybe meet up and you're like right in between. Unincorporated.
Thank you, Aaron.
Aaron, you're the shit. Thank you.
But everyone's unincorporated.
The suburbs.
Suburb? Slow down, Killa Kara.
But yeah, Chicago land is what they call it. Like we're in the Chicago land
right.
area.
Technically, we live very close to a township, but we are part of a town. Uncircumcised.
There's finally a gun show near me. They don't seem to have many gun/knife shows here in Wisconsin. Well, that's awesome, man. That's very cool. We are going to the Texas Blade Show and Atlanta Blade Show. I'm very, very excited about both of them. Never been to, did I say Texas or?
You've never been to Texas.
I know. I've never been to Texas, so that's going to be a fun one.
I've been to Texas a lot of times. I like me some Texas.
Should I buy a Griptilian or a Spyderco? I'd get
facts.
the Mannix.
Facts.
Or a pair of 3 PM2.
You should show them your new Mannix again, even if they
already
saw it.
Yeah, they did. They did. The 15V one.
Our anniversary isn't for a month, but I couldn't wait, so I gave it to him.
I showed him the comb too.
Did you?
Yeah, I even used it.
It's a good comb.
Used it
made in Chicago.
It's made in Chi-Town. Yeah, I linked them too. I could link it.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yes, I could. I visited Springfield, Illinois.
Did you see the
years
Abe
ago.
Lincoln
That
stuff?
That is our capital.
They have a lot of Abe Lincoln memorials down there.
Land of Lincoln.
Yeah, the Sage is like kind of I feel like it's not as popular as the PM2 and the Mannix and all that stuff. But I think it's like a good knife. I just like the Sage is a liner lock though, isn't it? Or am I mixing that up? Is the Sage a liner lock?
The Sage?
Yeah, it is, right? The Spyderco Sage.
Oh,
correct?
Is it a what? Liner
lock?
I don't think so.
Or is it still a compression lock?
It's a back lock and a compression. I think it's one of two. You can have a back lock or a compression lock, I believe. Oh no, Sid one says it's a liner.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's why I never liked it.
I'm wrong.
Because my whole theory.
Oh no, Sage 5 is a compression lock.
Okay, I know one Sage was
one
Sage was a liner, and I just remember thinking when I was looking at it years ago that like if I'm gonna spend money on my first Spyderco, that I want to get a compression lock because at the time it was completely proprietary to them. So I'm thinking like, why would I want to get the thing that's unique to the company, right? Like I don't want to spend my money on another liner lock. I want to spend it because I can't just buy like 8 Spydercos. Can I see the call? I want to play with it.
He said he used our link and got one. Oh, there's old Bubs. I'm late to the party and gotta run to change a poop diaper, I guess. But thanks so much for the love. No problem, man. Definitely go and check his channel out. The Sage is everything depending on if it's a 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I only knew of the compression lock and back lock, but I didn't keep up with the Sages. I'll be honest.
Look,
I have tried the backlock though, and I really like it. I think Sage 5. I think what
This thing like
don't
is
get caught.
no, it's not gonna get caught. I have luscious locks of gold over here.
Are there any new knives coming out that you're interested in?
Yeah.
Yes, actually, there's a few. Specifically, like there's one that actually just came out that I really would like to get, but I'm probably not gonna spend the money on it. But that new Wii knife that's a limited edition looks really badass. The Microtech MSI
I just want to try
and the Microtech Stitch both look amazing. I really am excited to try those. And there's a bunch of other ones. Like I said, there was a couple from Artisan that looked cool. Who else? Miguron. I got some stuff coming from Miguron that looks pretty cool.
I've never yet to have an Artisan model that I truly fell in love with yet. Which is weird because they were actually one of the first companies that like where I saw some of their products and really wanted to try them. But even when I was at Blade Show and I had a chance to like try some of the models that I've only ever seen and not touched, I don't know why none of them have like jived with me. Like usually if it's the liner locks, they're a little not enough access for me on some of them. And then I don't know, I've just not found one yet. But like I don't have anything against the brand or like the knives or the designs. I just like haven't clicked with one. Have you? I don't feel like we have an Artisan that we're like, yeah.
Yeah, I like the Arion.
But are you like, yeah?
I mean, yeah.
You're like,
yeah, I like it. I like it a lot, actually. I like it a lot.
Totally.
But there's a couple of, and the CJRBs. I got a few CJRBs.
That's really different.
Good. Does the Workshop Precision Adjust allow lower than 15? I think they go down to 12. Thing goes down to 12 degrees. But let me tell you though, it might be tough getting the blade or the stone to not hit the clamp with that low. Daniel Cad with the 5 bones, as always, channel support, and I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the donation, man. Man, you guys are awesome. I definitely appreciate all the donations. Yeah, the Centauri's great too. The Centauri, the Arion, both great. Yeah, the Ramlock is what I'm really excited about. I'm very much excited about.
Are you gonna say cram when you open it?
Cram. How good is Crewwear? I'm considering the Manix 2XL. I love Crewwear. Crewwear is an amazing steel. So Crewwear is a steel that does really good with a fine edge. So it has great fine edge holding ability. So like some steels do really good with working edges, right? So like for an example, Maximet. I always use this as an example because it's a great steel to say that with. The Maximet holds an edge like forever, right? But that's not a fine edge that it holds. It's a working edge that it holds. So like if you took 100% of its edge, about 20% is the fine edge and 80% is the working edge. With Crewwear, it's the exact opposite. 80% is the fine edge, 20% is the working edge. Once that fine edge goes away, it does, go downhill really quick, but the fine edge holds very well. And it takes an incredible fine edge. Like you want to talk about polished edges, Crewwear might be the best polished edge take. I'm not gonna say that. K390 is the shit. But it does very well with a polished edge. If you like polished edges, but it also does good with a medium grit edge too. So I'm not saying that it only does good with a fine
like
edge,
5 butts,
or with a polished edge. When I'm talking about fine edge holding ability, I'm talking about like hair shaving sharp. Working edge would be like paper shaving sharp.
This is so much fun to do. This thing works really well. And also you can like snag the hairs up in a way where you could trim them so easily. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, Jared?
What? Oh, to trim them?
That you could trim them easily the way that this comb picks the hair up.
Yeah. Really want to. Yeah, that's what I got mine at. I got mine at 15 degrees per side. So yeah, I agree. That's 14 degrees would be badass too. Between 14 and 15 degrees. I think that's what you want on Spyderco Manix. I got a 15 degree edge bevel on every single one of my Manix, even my big one.
Even your new one, the new scaled one.
Yes, lice comb.
Yeah, it actually is kind of like that in a way.
Neeves, can you gift memberships for me?
So we can gift memberships, but they go to random people So unfortunately, and
We
I've
don't get the
looked
pack.
into it a million times, there's absolutely no way for us to directly donate a membership to an individual.
Yes, it's
Otherwise, we would
titanium.
have done it, you know, before for certain individuals or whatever. But yeah, unfortunately, there is no way for us to do that.
Yes,
Which is kind of dumb.
This is titanium.
In reality, because it's our dang membership. I should be able to give it to whoever I want.
Hey, Daniel! Thank you
wow,
for the
thank
20
you.
bones, man. Was that for us to give to members? Is that what you're saying?
Well, you might as well just do it.
I don't know.
Why not just here?
Thank you for the donation.
I'll do it.
You're gonna do it right
Yeah,
now.
I'll do it.
So while we're doing that, I want to talk about a couple knives. The one, gift them.
Wait.
All right, we will. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, and good luck to everybody that might get on it, because I think today's Saturday. So tomorrow we have a Bang Gang live, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's the Bang Gang live. So the members will be able to join tomorrow afternoon live. So, man, I've been carrying the heck out of this KIZER
Baby, can you
Mad
move your
TANTO.
arm?
Let me tell you, man, this thing.
I'll do 10.
Man, look at me with my boot right there.
Your boots
my
are made
thumbnail.
for walking.
Oh, I want to show you guys some boots, but
that's just what we're
man,
doing.
this thing traps material so good. I broke down a shit ton of cardboard today, and it absolutely just destroys. This thing is really good. One of my favorite TANTOs right now, because of it dropping down like that. The tip works great, and you can use this to like open things up, but then use the hollow. You can like trap materials behind the flat ground area, and it passes through material so good. Absolutely destroys stuff. I did link it down in the description if you guys want to check the price or anything. To the top of the description. The next one that I've really enjoyed is this new SOKOKE from CIVIVI, Ray Laconico design. This thing is fantastic. Mega comfortable. Beautiful drop point blade. Great for precision work. Great for slicing. Doesn't matter what direction you cut in. This one, I'm probably going to break down the rest of the cardboard tomorrow with that one, and maybe battle them.
Yeah, guys, just remember these are fully random. Like I can't control who they go to. I'm gonna do one more. The lucky last membership. So far I've donated 25 free ones. We'll go for old 26.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm just doing one more for the fun. Like you gotta do old lucky. Oh lucky, who's it gonna be?
Whoever gets it, let us know.
Ty Grisbowski. He got it. So check it out. Check it out, baby. You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
We have the roaster. I thought you were, oh no, you're a mod, but now you're a member. Okay, the roaster. Andy, Greg, Dean, Kevin, Darth, LGM, Chris Reinhold, Casey,
Andy.
Let me scroll her down. Lemmy, Louie, Aberdeen, Aries, and last but not least, where'd he go? I don't remember. Where'd he go? Right here, Ty Grisbowski. And that's it. I have to go back to StreamYard.
Daniel, thank you for the 2 bones, man. I appreciate it.
You gifted those, so thank you.
Yeah.
Everyone thank Daniel, not me.
Thank Daniel for the membership.
I'm sorry,
Papa. So just really quick, you guys know I like to talk about boots sometimes. Kara got me some really nice Thursdays. These are Thursday boots. They're Chelsea's. You guys ever tried Chelsea's before? It's like a slip-on boot, but it's kind of like a dress casual kind of boot, like where you dress them up or dress them down. But it's super comfortable, very easy to just, put them on. Mega comfortable, man. But yeah, I really like these. So I think that these are actually built in Mexico. So Thursday is a USA brand. They do have USA made boots, but this one is specific because they have some that are made in Mexico. This one I think is made in Mexico. This is the Duke, but I gotta say, man, I absolutely love this thing. Thursday boots. Oh, you guys, there we go.
Is the audio messed up or something? Why are you saying did the audio change? You guys, if
But
you
I got a matching belt, and those are the olive green ones.
so
Olive green.
really quick,
Yes.
the audio is going wild.
Sorry, guys.
I need to explain the
It's because we
membership.
were moving in and out.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something. If you guys don't hear it, please let me know.
I'm turning it up, so turn your guys' volume down if it's too loud. Go ahead.
Okay, so if you just got a membership and you don't already know, what you get that's different for it is you have now when you go to your emojis when you type, you have like 4 or 5 custom ones you can use. And then the other stuff you get is the twice a month members only live. And basically what it is, it's really honed in on sharpening. No pun intended with the hone there. That was good. It's about sharpening, and basically the point is that you don't have to ask sharpening questions, but because only members are allowed in the chat, you are able to ask any question you want. I will absolutely make sure it gets to Jared, or if I can answer it, whatever. And you're able to have kind of a smaller group of people to discuss knives rather than such a large chat, and you'll be able to get like your questions answered instead of having them skipped. And then, also you'll get the sharpening information if that's something you're interested in or whatever else you want to talk about. And that is going to be twice a month. So it's every other Sunday. Tomorrow there is one. So any of you guys have just got a member thing, it's going to be 12:15 tomorrow. And then it goes every other Sunday from there. And then finally, the last thing that you get is that typically in the members' lives, not all of them, but relatively frequently, we do giveaways. So right now, that's the sitch.
Chicago, thank you for the 3 bones. I appreciate it. Moose says he used to have a pair of boots from Mexico. They were a knockoff of Doc Martens called the Doc Martinez. That's hilarious.
What's the sticker?
So somebody asks if I recommend EDC organizers. My favorite is Tale of Knives. It's a USA made organizer, but they are expensive. They're extremely good quality. You get to pick the color of the stitch, you get to pick the style, the size, like you get to pick everything, like it's basically like custom made. It takes about 6 to 8 weeks to get, maybe, unless if you get the ones that they already have pre-built. But if you're on a tight budget, then EDC 1791, these are very, very affordable. You can, if you go down to my Amazon store, or Neevesknives store, if you click that, you can type it in up at the top, EDC 1791, and you'll see all these pop up. And just make sure you type it in at the top, and you'll see it.
Wait, so for those of you that want to know as well, that the Patreon versus the membership is strictly giveaways. So if you join Patreon at any dollar amount, I believe above $3, you have access to a monthly giveaway. It's not just one knife; it is many knives that we give away every month. So you got a high chance of winning, and that's pretty much what that is for. It's basically like you're donating, but to hopefully get back a knife, in a sense, if that makes sense. But the giveaways are really dope.
The sole is it's like a synthetic material, like a foam. I thought you guys could see it, but it's kind of hard to pick up. But they're really good. I really like boots, so I have multiple different kinds of boots, from Red Wings to Thursdays to a bunch of different ones too. JD for EDC, Rock Roosters. Hey, party people, how are you enjoying checking out the Asher? I honestly didn't know you'd never checked the brand out before.
We have a few times.
Yeah, I have a few right now.
Actually, quite a few times.
I have probably like 4 or 5 Asher. But it's been a while since I've had any, because I had them when they first came out. I haven't had any
like
of the
that
new
bug out looking one that he did. It kind of looked like a Benjamin bug
all
out a
the
little bit.
The first lines of them. I had like the first 3. Kurt, thank you for the 10 bones. Been a while. Missed your lives. Looking for the best built solid knife, around $400. Materials count, but looking more for build quality, something that make you know you're dealing with high quality. Okay, so $400.
Spartan.
Yeah, Spartan's gonna be around 500. But yeah, Spartans.
They have models that you could get away with. What about any sharp by designs?
Quiet Carry 9, really, really good.
Is that $400?
It's a little bit. It's less than 400, but
it's dope though. Like the
really
action is nuts. So it is. So good.
But I want to recommend something USA made since you're willing to pay that price.
TRMs, although their build is based way more off of slender slicing, not so much like when you say strong build, I don't know that that would fit the
Depends
definition.
on what type of strong build you're talking
Spartan Harsey would be good. If you don't have a Chris Reeves, that would be good, obviously.
Fenders,
oh god, it's slipping my mind. Oh yeah, Sharp by Design. Anything by Brian Nadeau.
Yeah, but you're not $400 you're gonna buy shit from Brian Nadeau.
Oh, I mean, if you could just up it to like 500, you probably could.
No,
I
thousands of dollars. Like you're talking
I
about
did say
that,
it's customs.
you're talking about a React.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said Sharp by Design. If you could get a Brian Nadeau custom, then yeah, that's great too.
But anyways, yeah, I would recommend probably Spartan Harsey or something for that price if you can get it for around 400.
Like this one.
If not,
and then get it reground.
There's a lot of great knives.
Show her to them.
Also, you could go with the Demco 8020. That's very, very solid. And then you can go use my link for original go. Depends on what type of tough you're talking about.
These are tough boys. Which one are the tough boys?
You don't want to get some, like if you're this is thick, right? So this isn't something like if you look, I lowered back my edge angle to 15 degrees per side. Look at how big my edge bevel is. It's massive. That's all I'm gonna say. It's massive. It's big as shit. But it's super sharp. But it's not gonna be a slicer, right? This one I have a regrind on it from BGM, so that's why it's thin. Otherwise, it was so thick, I barely used it. So it depends on what you want. But there's a lot of great knives out there.
Sorry, I was hanging out with 2-year-olds all day playing peekaboo.
What's the best TRM? The Shadow. They seem to do a lot right. Obviously, I'd like them to run harder, but for the price they made in USA and small batch, I agree. And I'll tell you what, I've sharpened like a lot of their M390. Every one that I've dealt with has been really, really good. I'm not going to say like it's the best M390, but compared to a lot of, because listen, man, because of everything out there being M390, I sharpen a lot of shitty M390. So you can tell the difference when you sharpen the M390. It takes a really, really good edge. It holds it really well. It deburrs really well. Like you can tell there's something different about their M390, which I do appreciate. So I've always, thought they did a good job. Now I do know though that in the past, 2 blades of M390 were tested, which test different.
Your mic is going in and out.
How about now?
Just let us know if there's a consistent mic issue. If it pops in and out, that's one thing. But if you guys are having like full on.
Anyways, yeah, the Shadow is my favorite knife from TRM. It's an Axis style lock knife, and it's really, really good. Shiro Groffs are about 700 to start.
You know what knife I like that I feel like people used to love, but like it's
I love
like
Shiros, but
on the wayside a little bit lately is the North Arm Skaha. I love that knife. How much is that?
The North Arm Skaha.
They're hard to get though, is the thing.
I'm trying to think. I think like $300, but
they're just hard to get. But man, if you could get one
Canadian
of those,
built knife.
Yeah, they are. But like the blade actually has texture on it.
Awesome,
it's bizarre.
Jeff. Thank you.
It's bizarre. Somebody said that in your review you keep forgetting to cover left versus right hand carry. I think is what they said.
Okay, sorry guys. I'll try to make sure I.
Do you mean just like mentioning whether or not it has clip carry or lefty?
Aaron B. Click that. Arno Bernard El Mamba. That is a great knife. I think it's a South African built knife.
Yeah,
very good quality. Very good quality. I really, really like that knife. That's a good one for sure.
Less George, easy.
But yeah, if you're wanting edge retention in like steels, because it depends on what you want. Like if you're looking for the best steels, the best like just heat treats and things like that, I'm gonna have a different answer than like the best hard use.
Hinderer half.
I said them.
Did we?
Yeah, but you can't never get them. They're very, very difficult to get.
Well,
I did hear though on USA made blades or something like that they drop half tracks like often. So maybe they get some. So go check out USA made blades. I don't have a link to them or anything.
And you can usually get stuff on Arizona Custom if you can't find it, but like you're gonna pay a little extra though.
Yeah, I love my Shiros. Shiros are great.
Yeah,
a lot of people just don't like that they look like stick knives. I will say though, that shape is a very useful shape.
No,
Since your recent Manix 2 recommendation, I am looking at Blade HQ exclusive Manix 2 XL. It's just out
Oh,
of
really?
stock. Does anyone know about when? So were they in stock or are they waiting to get in stock? Because sometimes they'll say out of stock and it's just coming. It's just not there yet. So I'm not sure on that, but yeah, I definitely recommend. But listen, if you want a Manix 2 and you don't want the exclusive one, like you can get the XL. It's just the exclusive one that's in crew wear you can only get there. Jared, do you have any idea if they'll
Okay.
ever be making any more Freeman? So they do make them. I think they just always sell them. Like they just basically. This is a theory. I'm not positive on this, but I think they just basically build them and then bring them to Blade shows and sell them at shows. So I think the only way you're going to be able to get one is on the secondary market or at Blade shows. Because when I was at Blade show, they had a ton of them. Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Also, he said he's gonna be in town soon and we should meet up.
This town?
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's gonna
Yeah.
be in here.
If
Bye.
materials don't matter as much, yeah, I definitely want to meet up.
That's what he
And solid build quality is everything. Then the El Mamba is my vote as well. Secondary prices range from $375 to $400, so it's right in around about the $400 mark. Yeah, no, dude, that's an amazing knife. I will say this though: if you watch my review, don't don't think that you're going to get that, okay? Because mine had some issues. The one that I did a review on, it failed very, very, very easily. Actually, almost injured me so easily. But that's not normal. Um, he did deal with it, so it wasn't like it stayed that way. He 100% took care of it. So don't take that as a negative if you watch my review.
Oh,
Um,
what the heck?
Kurt with the
Why
10
can't I open
bones.
this?
Thank you for the answer. I love all knives and I'm more of a collector. So any type of fine, just wanting a solid action build quality QC, $500 would be okay as long as it is worth it. Like I said, his there's different types. So, like, if you wanted a Spartan, you need to want a washer knife, a knife that's super solid but washer action. Like it's not the drop shutty knives. It's more of a slow roller, but that you can flick very easily, and it does get very smooth. Like you can see, it gets very very smooth. It's got big washers, but it's a washer knife, so it's a little bit different than say something like this from Riyadh. Right? It doesn't have that type of feeling and smoothness that you get from bearings. Now, I always recommend Manixes
I
though.
went to pick this up because I thought it looks beefy, and I go like this. Well, it failed, and I was like, "What knife is?"
Yeah, I'm sure you guys can guess what knife you just picked up. The Sabenza, I always
about
recommend a
these?
Sabenza, but you have to like slow rolling action though.
What about this one?
Um,
It's like
I
beefy,
said
but not over.
I said my
I
first.
know. I'm just
The
like a
problem with this
specific.
is no lock bar access, but yes, I
It's
love
not terrible.
the Medford Slim MIDI is a great one. Um, they do a pretty good job on their heat treat. S35 BN is what this one is. They do have different ones though. I can link. You can get these actually from my Amazon link,
I don't
right,
think this
or
looks
my
like a
Amazon store.
steak knife. I mean, I get where that comes from. Like when you have it in your hand and you see all the beautifulness of it, it doesn't feel steak knifey. And oh my
Love you
god,
too, brother.
action. How much is this? You said 700?
Yeah, it was about
Why?
900 or something. The other one I have is like
It's
1100.
M390 in carbon fiber. Is it USA?
Russia.
And it's 7.
Probably more now. Considering. What's up, D-Live? I don't think I'll ever be able to strengthen my middle finger to open my 4 years old with our rights. Yeah, you should come. No problem, man. We're all going to get there. We are all going to get there. I recommend Spyderco. They are the easiest to open for somebody who has problems. Like because the hole, it's just easy to put your finger right in and just roll it right
Get one
around.
of these.
Very, very smooth.
These look. I mean, you don't need no effort for that.
You don't know if you can carry that.
Well, no, yeah, you need to check your
And
laws,
they're probably hard,
but
they're
if you
hard to
could,
get to.
I've been seeing them come in stock a lot.
No, they do. They do. Yeah, I was talking about that knife earlier. I think this is one of the best knives so far this year. I have like a list right now of knives that I am just absolutely loving, and this is one of the
That
top
knife
ones.
is so good, you guys. Like you don't understand.
I'm so happy I got
It is
this.
like can I see it?
and it's made in Taiwan,
It is first of all, just, like, the milling that they
which is
did
not China, folks.
okay, so the milling that they did on this, it actually extends through here, like, it doesn't just stop on the titanium, it goes the whole way, even across the pattern portion of
Holy
the
shit.
scales, the inlay, and so it just has this nice teeny little texture, but it's still so smooth, and the action on it is, like, bar none, like, I've never felt this is, like, my favorite frame lock that I've ever pushed to the left in my life. Like, I'm serious. It
Mhm.
is so unbelievably good, and it like, this action right here is what I was kinda led to believe that the Sebenza would feel like, not counting the drop shutty part, but, like, the way the glassy, and then I was disappointed. But this
I have to announce, Big Brown Bear is in the house, icon in the
oh,
knife
hey,
community.
what up?
Shout out to Big Brown Bear. I definitely learned a shit ton from watching his videos
Yeah,
for the past 10 years, probably. I don't even
uh,
know.
yeah.
But he's the one. This is his logo right there. Logo right there, the triple B logo, the 15V Mannix.
Wow,
So he's the one that helped
that's an
develop the
honor.
15V. Yes.
Holy
And
crap,
they are using his heat treat protocol on.
I didn't know that.
And also, if you guys don't know, there we got a PM2, a shaman coming in 15V. So that is amazing. So shout out to him. Definitely go give him a follow. He does have a YouTube channel. He man got so much information. Like he's just like a plethora of information. Like,
Love that word.
yeah,
You say it so nice.
like, that's what I should turn around with earlier, huh? Plethora, plethora. I just say that.
Just say
What a
plethora.
pickup line. Kirk Emerson with the 5 bones. Thank you for all the answers slash inputs. Got research to do.
Yeah, well, sure.
Thank you for the 5 bones. I think, just we're all different, so we all like different
Cheers
things.
to that.
And there's so many great knives out there. Like my answer is gonna be different. Like if you said super snappy thumb stud action on bearings, right? Like that type of knife, then I can give you a list. If you wanted washer action or flippers or front, like there's so many different ones that are really, really, really good. Which one?
Answer the
List your favorite Magna Cut blades you have sharpened, please. My absolute favorite is my custom from Transparent Knives because it's 64.5 HRC and it is absolutely badass. The next after that would probably be the Spyderco Mule I did. That was really, really good. They did a hell of a job on it. I did test a couple customs that were one wasn't good, so I don't wanna say they were all good, but that was in the beginning where they were a little bit softer and they were trying to figure it out, but that same guy is doing really good now, that was BGM. Um, but I'll be honest, a lot of companies are not doing it as much as justice as it could, and I really, really realized that when I was doing the testings between different models. Like even this, right? This is just an example, right? Tactile. I think Tactile is doing an okay job with it, right? But it was originally, especially the one I have, it's on the softer side, right? So now they supposedly everything in the future is going to be coming at a higher HRC, but originally it was a little bit softer. But the heat treat was still done well, right? But the difference between that and the mule was just like night and day difference. Like it was a completely different animal. Like from the way it sharpened, the way it took an edge, the way it held its edge, like everything about it. And I talked about that in a video. I do have a video on that. Um, but anyways, most companies are raising their HRC. So you
Oh,
got, Brown Bear, thank you,
wow.
man. Holy shit, thank you, man. I appreciate that
Your
so
logo
much.
is so
Yeah.
I
Um,
want a shirt with that. It's cute.
yeah, why don't you got some shirts,
Yeah, where's
man?
your
Where's your
shirts?
shirts at?
I need one.
Um,
I love I love that logo.
but yeah, I think most of the companies, CRK, I think is going to be doing a really good job with it because CRK, they said that they're going to do it between 64 and 65 HRC. That's amazing. I think they're going to do a really good job with it. Obviously, Spyderco, I think, is doing a good job with it. Um, who else? Supposedly, um, Hogue has raised it, right? So if supposedly and I don't know what's left out there, so what's gonna be wrong, and I don't even know what mine is. I've only had mine for, like, 2 months, and they raised their HRC from what it was to, like, 63, I think, but, I don't know how long it's gonna take for every single one that's out there, in knife shops to be that, but a lot of companies are raising. Keep up the reviews and sharpening, help people get deeper into the knife world. Thank you. Yes, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
sharpening is definitely like a gateway
Yeah.
into
Story time. Yes, we have story
to the
time
dark
coming up.
web of the knife world.
Okay, so actually, I do wanna talk really quick because we are late for story time. It's 9:04. I do wanna talk about a quick fragrance really quick. Fuck the fragrance. You guys don't care. Um, but let's get to story time then. Yeah, oh, yeah, no, the Salt series, they do have them coming out. I think right now there's a serrated knife out, but they have one with a plain edge coming. Alright, you guys ready for story time? Okay, so
Hey, quick question.
yes, baby, go ahead.
Are you gonna do a story that's gonna take up all the way till 9:30?
I could.
Okay, I'm just wondering because I'm starving.
Go ahead, baby, you don't have to sit here.
Well, you go ahead and start, and I'll see if you make a good
No,
stopping point.
go ahead, it's fine, baby, go ahead. I know you're hungry, go ahead. Go ahead, make me
I
something too.
haven't
Alright,
eaten.
say goodbye, guys. Say goodbye. Go
I'm
ahead, baby.
shaking.
Yeah, I know. Go, go, go. Jared, can you feel your finger yet? No, absolutely not. Not even a little bit. Not even a little
Which
bit.
one
It's
is it?
gone.
Which one is it? Feel it?
I felt that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was magic.
All right, guys, I love you. I'm gonna go eat some because I've only eaten once today. I'm really hungry.
But yeah, those of you that don't know what he's talking about, I stabbed myself in the hand and now I have nerve damage in my finger. Okay, so bye, baby.
Also, guys, just
Carry
remember
with that blood sugar.
this exists. Don't forget. It's a thing.
All right, so what story are we telling tonight? What story should we tell? Dukes of Hazard. Thank you for the 5 bones. Have a great weekend. You have a great weekend, man. I appreciate the donation. So, what story did I have written down? I wrote something down. Oh, okay. So I wrote a story, or I wrote down talking about my juvenile record. I figured we go into a story time about my juvenile record before I was 18 and how I got on the books at a very early age. So, and I was gonna, because we got a little while, so I guess I could kind of stretch this one out a little bit. So I um I wound up moving south of Chicago, for a couple years, right? But before that, like, and I wound up coming back after a couple years, but before that, I grew up in like the projects and shit. So it's always like hood ass neighborhoods, and like the schools that I had been to were always like super. I'm not like crazy ghetto, but they're pretty ghetto, and a lot of shit happened. Like, I guess compared to the majority, it was very ghetto. But then when I went down south, I moved to an area that's not like here, or there where I was living. It was a shock, like a big difference. So when I went to school where I came from, I was a regular kid. The school I wound up moving to, I was labeled like the worst kid they had in 10 years. And I'm not bragging about it. Like, obviously shitty. Is just the environment I was in, moving to a better school. And I appreciate it too, because when I came back, and I'm jumping ahead right now, but when I came back, I realized how privileged I was to be in those schools, because I absolutely like just went downhill. Like, I went from going to schools that for just a couple years, but the couple years I was there, the it was really good. And anyways, but so when I moved down there, I was getting in a lot of trouble. So I wound up, what was it? It was we were doing like, breaking into shit and like robbing places and stuff. Just young kid punk ass shit, right? Just punk ass kid shit, and run around breaking into cars and stuff like that. Just dumb kid shit. But then it started getting more and more serious, started breaking into like properties and things like that, just being straight knuckleheads. And then we started, like, doing it, like, really serious where we were actually because the town was so small that they only had a couple cops. So, we could literally have all the cops go to one side of the town while we pulled a move over on the other side of town. So, I had connections back home to explosives and dynamite and stuff. So, I, basically snagged some dynamite the old man had, and, I probably stole them. I don't know because we had bags of them. So, I took them down there and I wound up, because I still came back and forth. I was still coming back and forth. I just wasn't going to school, in the area I grew up in. Anyway, so I, would bring it down there and I would blow things up on one side of town so that I could rob a place on the other side of town. Remember, I'm like 13 years old. This is very, very young. Well, I wound up getting arrested and technically snitching on myself. But I wound up getting arrested, and it wasn't for, like, super crazy stuff, it was, like, for breaking into things, stuff like that. Vandalism, breaking into things, and shit like that, and I was really young. So, they brought me into the interrogation room, right? And, at the time, like, my dad had taught me, like, my whole life, like, what to do, like, with cops, right? But it's a lot different when you get into the situation, right? So this was the one time I fucked up. One time I fucked up, and after this, I probably had 200 interactions with police, but this was the one time I fucked up. Remember, I was only 13 years old, so I wasn't right? I wasn't that bright. Well, my dad, like I said, always told me, "Don't say nothing to him. Don't ever talk to him. Don't ever say nothing. Don't matter what they say to you, no matter how much they make you feel like they're on your side, they're not on your side." Well, they did that, and then they made it seem like my friend had snitched on me. But the thing was is that they told me exactly what I did, and they were right, so I figured he did. Thing was he didn't. They were just detectives, so they did detective work and could tell exactly what we did, right? So, I was gullible, I was young, and I basically admitted to it. I snitched on myself and wound up, obviously getting arrested, blah, 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 and my dad was so disappointed, not because of what I did, like, he didn't give a fuck about that. He was mad that I snitched on myself. He was so mad. He was like and he told me, like, right after that, he's like, I've broke this down to you how many times? Like, how many times if we sat here and talked about this, what you do with the police?" He's like, "How did you fail this?" Right? And then he told me, he's like, "Next time, do exactly what I say." And the next time I did, and we'll talk about that in a second. So, now I'm on probation, right? And, I can't get in any trouble because 'cause I'm a juvenile, and I'm trying to stay out of juvie. I don't wanna go juvie or anything, so I'm trying not to get in trouble, and, I'm on, like, 6 months probation or something like that, a year's probation, something like that. But if I get in trouble, I get put on intense probation. Well, within 1 month, I wind up in a parking lot at, like, 2 in the morning with a bunch of friends, and basically, there's a car with what happened was is this girl tried to jump in the driver's seat and take off with the car, and my buddy whose car it was because everybody I hung out with was way older. Like, my buddy that was driving, he was, like, 22, right? So I'm, like, 13 with with a bunch of 20-year-olds and stuff, and, so he jumped in and was trying to stop her, so now the door is open and one person's legs are hanging out the door while we're doing donuts in the parking lot with legs hanging out of the door, right? Well, it was in a Walmart parking lot. Walmart seen it in the cameras, like the security, and called the cops. And like I said, it's a small town. So they were there like that, like so quick. So what happened was they just like surrounded us like so quick and just out of nowhere too. But like I said, small town, that's the shit that happened. And these cops are no joke. Like they have so much time on their hands. So it's like they messed with me so bad. They hunted me down, they chased me down. Like, I'm not saying they didn't have a reason to do it, because they totally did. However, it was crazy to me how much time they invested into trying to catch me on shit. Anyway, so I wind up getting arrested. So, well, they get me in the back of the cop car, right? And my buddy, right, is talking to the cops. And I can see them talking, right? But the cops, they do this thing where they throw you in the car and they turn up the music. And the reason why they do that is because they want to they want to ask some them questions and then me questions, but not let me hear what they said. So they have the music blazing, so I can't hear anything. The cop comes and opens up the door. He's like, "Where's your mom?" I was like, "She's at home." He goes, "She's not at work?" I was like, "No." And he goes, "Motherfucker." Slams the door, goes back, starts screaming at my friend. My friend had told him that he was my guardian for the night and that my mom was out of town at work or some shit, and that he had to leave with me so that the cop was gonna release me with my friend. And I blew it. So I wound up going to jail for possession, cigarettes, curfew, probation violation. And the thing was, is they were trying to, they charged me for an adult for the marijuana I had. They charged me as a underage for the cigarettes I had, and charged me underage for being out past curfew. What the fuck? I mean, am I an adult or am I a kid here? Anyways, so um, they uh they wound up putting me on like intense probation after that because I got in trouble so fast. That was the thing; it was so fast. And I know I'm laughing and stuff. This is like when I was a kid, so it is kind of just funny to me uh, because this stuff to me is like kind of petty now. Anyway, so then I was still doing stuff, still doing dirt, and the people I was hanging around with, were kind of doing dirt too and stuff. So eventually, a bunch of detectives showed up to my house, and I'm still I've been on probation like 6 months, maybe 4 months or something. So like I'm freaking out. They're following me, they're stalking me, they're doing all kinds of shit, and I'm still doing dumb shit. So it's like I have even more of a reason to be paranoid, right? I'm constantly hiding, constantly running, constantly worried that they're gonna bust me. Well, then they showed up at my door, a bunch of detectives, and they came in and they were trying to get me to basically snitch on and I fucking kicked them out of the house, and my dad told me that, he's like, "Listen, next time you see them, you tell them you ain't got shit to say to them, unless if they are going to arrest you," and he's like, "And if they arrest you, fine." He's like, "I will get you out, don't worry." He's like, "Just tell them to go fuck themselves and get the fuck out of there or arrest you." So that's what I did, and they instantly got up, closed the investigation book that they had. It was a massive book of, like, the whole investigation, and they walked out, and I was like, "Oh my goodness," I couldn't believe it worked, right? Because like I said, I'm like 13. So when you're looking at 40-year-old men, right, sitting here trying to interrogate you, it's a little nerve-wracking to tell them to go fuck themselves and get out of my house, right? Remaining silent. So my mom was sitting right there. She didn't say nothing. She just let me handle it, which was cool. Good job, mommy. But then I um I wound up getting in trouble for it sounds bad, but it was not as bad as it sounds. It was not as bad as it sounds. So the words that are about to come out of my mouth, just know it wasn't bad, but it was attempt to arson. I got busted for attempt to arson, which, like I said, wasn't that bad. I fucking lit off a firework in an apartment building, and a lady said that I was trying to burn her fucking apartment down, trying to say I was trying to kill her and her kids. It's just fucking it was just like a little fucking firework thing. I mean, it wasn't even a real firework. Anyways, the point is though, is that when you're on intense probation, you can't get away with stupid shit like that. So the cops came and started trying to press me, and they were pressing me hard. They had me in the cuffs, and like they were like threatening me like about what was gonna happen, like with this and all this bullshit. And then they tried to get me to snitch on somebody that was in my neighborhood down there, and I knew better than that. Like, hell no, I ain't fucking snitching on nobody. Like that was like the worst thing where I came from. The worst thing you could ever do was snitch, and I've seen people get brutally hurt for snitching. So like that's one thing like to me, and just like the fact of being a rat, like I couldn't do it. Anyways, so I said no, and I wound up having to get more time on probation and stuff since it wasn't really that serious. Like, I wound up like maybe getting like some time at it, and then like 200. I don't know. I don't even know how many. Probably like 500 hours of community service or something. I was living on community service, but I wound up forging all that shit because I had connections with like people and stuff. So. And then Then because I was getting in so much trouble down there and not getting caught, they had so many investigations going, and I knew that they did, and a lot of my friends were getting popped one after another, like, it was only a matter of time, and the cops were actually coming up to me, like, they were stopping me, like, they were stalking me everywhere. So and they were coming to me, they were telling me, like, that I was not gonna get off probation. Like, there was no fucking way I was gonna get off probation, like, that I was gonna be locked up before I ever got probation. They were, like, promising me this, so I knew they had, like, a vendetta against me, and and there's many times where I'm running from them and getting away, and there's nothing they can do until, like, later, like, because I got away, they didn't catch me, so they can't prove it's me, right? So, even if they said it was me, at this point, like, it had been long enough that I was gonna deny it no matter what. After that, like, I got really good at keeping my damn mouth shut. So, they wound up learning that because they had attempted a bunch of different ways to, like, try to get me, like, trying to get me to snitch, trying to get me to snitch on myself, and they realized this motherfucker ain't gonna talk. So, they, um, they were doing everything, like and they were chasing me down places, like, and, like, doing things like, like, there was this, apartment building I was, like, hanging out in all the time. I've told this story before, I can briefly go through it, but, it was this apartment building, and they would constantly come and try to raid. Trying to bust me with something or and the other people that were there. But there was this one time where how'd it go? I think I was running from running from them, and I made it to the building and, got inside, and I knew the cops were gonna be swarming. I knew it, they were coming. Well, when I ran upstairs, they know what apartment I'm gonna go to. So, I told this story before, it's kinda funny. I wound up finding a door. I have no idea who lives in this apartment, not even a fucking clue, not at all. I opened up the door quietly 'cause it was open, and I was like, "I'm gonna hide in this apartment." And I could see, like, somebody, like, with the TV on and stuff, and I just quietly went in, and I walked to the back, like, I knew how the apartment was going to be set up, but I didn't know who lived there because, they're all pretty much set up the same, and I went back and hid in this closet in a house, in the park. Can you imagine right now, you guys in your house, you had somebody hiding in your house and you didn't know it? Crazy, right? And, I hid out for, like, forever, and then when I wound up leaving, when I was leaving the apartment, I was, like, super quiet going to the door, the person said something. They thought it was somebody else. They were like, "Jessica, is that you?" or something like that, and I was like, "Nope." But, another time they came in after us, I hopped out the window because there was a three-story building, and they had a ledge outside the window. They also had an awning above the door. So what I did was and this was a different time where I was running from them. I climbed out the window and I scaled the building like this until I got to another window, opened up a window of somebody I don't know, and climbed inside their fucking apartment because their window was open. I don't think they were there, that was the thing, they weren't there, but I used that apartment to get the fuck away or to hide out until they left, which was so crazy, this whole thing, like pure adrenaline rush. Then, there was another time I had to jump because I couldn't because the windows were locked, you know? I had to jump and I hit the awning. Bam! Big old like the metal awnings, had a big old dent in that and then slid down, took off running. So it's like they were like and when you think about it, it's crazy, man, fucking, uh, chasing some punk ass kid, and he's jumping out of windows, scaling buildings, and crazy as shit. But what happened was then it was getting so bad, like, it was so, so bad, like, obviously it's getting bad, right? We're past bad at this point in reality. Um, I was so worried that they were gonna catch me because all my friends were getting popped, everybody. So, one after another. So I was like, "Fuck, this is a mess. They're gonna get me, right? They're gonna get me." So I wound up making it to, like, only like, a year and a half or something like that, maybe a little longer, without, like, getting busted again. Even though I was doing all this running, like, I was getting away, so I was, like, in a lot of trouble, but I was never getting caught. And, I decided to move back because I was like, "If I can get out of that town, I'll be able to get off probation because they won't, because 'cause they're gonna catch me, like, they're doing everything, like, it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. The closer I got to getting off probation, the heavier they got, the worse they got. So I, moved back to to the town I came from, back to the schools, back to all that shit, and pure trash, man. It messed up, any chance I had in graduating or anything, and I didn't graduate. I wanna go and get my GED, but, yeah, so then after that, I because I went back home, right, I was able to keep my nose clean as far as getting arrested until I was 18. When I was 18, I wasn't getting arrested again, but, until then, so that was my little juvenile record, uh, that happened between the age of 13, 14. Before that, I had gotten in trouble with cops, but not to the point I was put on paper. Ah, like, just like a little kid shit, but then, it got, obviously pretty serious, so, when it gets serious, you wind up getting in real trouble, big boy trouble. Jared, after this, I gotta show you a segment of one of my favorite TV shows. It relates to this story. Awesome, okay. Jared, parkour from the wall. Yeah, kinda. I mean, kinda. I remember one time, I was running from them, and this is, like, around the same time, like, of the story about when I ran in the building. I was running from them on foot, and they had a car going around it. What they do is, like, they'll have, like, 1 or 2 cars circling the area you're running in, trying to, keep you stuck in this little area, while cops on foot will run through the houses and buildings and stuff and try to find you. So, they're chasing me, and I'm, like, running through these buildings and all these houses and stuff, and I go to hop this fence, and I have a pocket, like like the little pocket you have right here, full of change, and when I flipped over the fence, all the change just poured out, and it was like just like an alarm right where I'm at. Just ching, ching, ching-ling, ling, ling. You could just hear them, like, start yelling, like, to come and get me. So I was like, "Damn it! You just gave yourself away." I already read that one. The worst thing I did at that age was hacking my school's computer network so I could print out my homework that was due next period that I forgot to do. Oh, yeah, just some good old boys. Yep, never meaning no harm. Got that right. Um, but, you know, looking back, a lot of it was, I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of it was pretty innocent. Not really, but, just punk ass kid shit. Uh, Jared sounds corny. Okay, sounds corny. Alright. I don't know how it sounds corny. Beat all you ever saw. Been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Yeah, no, coming back though, when I came back, a lot changed because like I said, like, it's so different, the towns, like I came back to a place where they didn't know me like that, like, they knew me, but not to the extent of what they were doing there, so the school 10 times bigger, like, 10 times more violence, 10 times more everything, so it made it where it was just like another shock, right? So, like, I went from there to down to getting away from it for a couple years, then coming back. But, since I had come back and forth, the whole time, like, it wasn't like I, wasn't still used to it, it's just from the school-wise, from the teacher's point of view and learning and stuff like that, like, it was so much worse, and I forgot how bad it was, like, I had just forgotten, like, how bad teachers were because I went to teachers that actually cared and actually tried, worked with you, and would actually take the time to teach you. Then back to a school where they fucking tell you to go to sleep. We don't even care if you're here. Go to sleep. That's just a little bit more big jumping. Yeah, I mean, I know, it probably wasn't, too exciting of a story, but there was a couple things I wanted to talk about, but I guess we're already 1 minute left, so, I do appreciate all you guys joining, and if you guys are wondering about that fragrance, which you guys aren't, it was the AQUA KENZO. It's actually really, really good. You can kinda tell what type of fragrance it is from the blue, it's a blue fragrance, citrusy, but then it has, like, a tiny hint of, like, sweetness to it, and it's a fresh scent, so it's like a fresh shower gel scent, but it has, like, a little bit of, like, a powderiness and, like, a little bit of a sweetness to it that really makes it just, like, stand out. It's a really good fragrance. I seen another, channel recommend it. I was like, "Alright, I'm gonna try it out," and it's super cheap. That's the thing, it's like $40 for this bottle, right? Which for fragrances, that's pretty cheap. Um, I know you can get, like, Dollar General fragrances, but for, like, quality fragrances, that's actually really cheap. I did link in the description. If you guys wanna see the note breakdown or anything. Jared, I did a lot of the same shit as a kid, but I lived in an upper class neighborhood. I was caught by the cops on multiple occasions, but I always got away with it. My privilege is real, not where I came from. My privilege is not real. Where I come from, man, I mean, because in that case, I wouldn't have the record I have, right? I've literally grown up with every race of people you could imagine. Literally slept in the same bed, fought with, fought for, defended, everything you could imagine. Helped hide, like, lots of different it's just my whole life, just everything. Uh, some of my best friends growing up. And I remember getting in trouble a lot. Like, especially in those type of neighborhoods when you're white and in, like, a mostly black neighborhood or an all black neighborhood, you stand out. So, you usually get in trouble because they think you're buying drugs, almost always. Like, if you're in North Chicago, right? Not the north side of Chicago, but North Chicago, right? And the cops pull you over or see you, there's no reason for you to be there. Unless if you're working, like, 'cause I did construction my whole life there, so there's no reason for you to be there unless if you're buying dope or doing some gangbang shit, because that's all there really is. So it, you know, they fuck with you hard, like, they mess with you hard when you're white. Um, in most of the neighborhoods, um, it's, yeah, I don't think that ever exists. I think what does exist is just, what's it called? Just different money, right? So, like, different standards of living and how much money you have, right? Obviously, poor areas are gonna have more violence and more everything, so they're gonna have more cop population and more busts. Richer areas don't have that. They don't have the police presence like they do in the other ones. So, that's what it all just falls back down to, because you can go to the trailer parks and find a lot of fucking poor white boys in the trailer parks, some heavy hitters in the trailer park, but, same thing with the projects, alright? It's just like the same thing, just different, but the trailer parks get busted by the cops and get arrested constant constantly, just like the project. Like, literally, like, no difference. It's just the white person's projects, what's up, Stasa? Stasa23's in the house. Definitely go and subscribe to his channel. Bro, are all knife people secretly boot people and fragrance people? I know I collect all 3 and pew pew. I don't know about the fragrance part, but I've been trying my ass off to get you guys into fragrances. I got, like I got a lot of fragrances. Like, I probably have, I don't know, 60, maybe 100 fragrances. I'm not sure how many I got, but I got a lot. But I got some bangers. So, and yes, I do love boots. Most of us, I think, like boots, EDC. We definitely all like EDC stuff. So yeah, I think the knife, pew pews, boots, belts, watches. Um, some of you guys don't like fragrances. That's just because you guys are stinky motherfuckers. If you impersonate a priest, you get the electric pew. Uh, dun, dun, dun. Damn you for making me buy more fragrances. Just kidding. But as a Sicilian, I enjoy these Italian scents. Yeah, I um I really enjoy them too. There's something about a good fragrance and like how what it does to your mood. And I truly believe that. I looked up actually a couple of different studies on this on like some fragrances, they can make you happy, some of them can make you, like, have more energy kind of, or just like, like, so many different types of feelings that come from certain, smells and fragrances. But something about, just smelling good and having a nice fragrance on you, once you start, you almost kinda just keep going because it just I don't know. It's kind of addicting to kinda, like, just smell such an amazing scent on yourself when it's really, really good. Right? I'm not talking about some bullshit, that you guys sprayed on yourself from Walmart's, Axe aisle, but when it's a good quality fragrance, yeah. What's up, dog one? I apologize. You misunderstood my comment. I'm sorry if I misunderstood you. Um, I honestly don't remember what it was. Uh, hope you get this, buddy. Mike. Oh, your comment was corny? Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Eagle Lee, what's up, brother? My Wolverine just failed on Friday after 2 years. I have a new pair ready to go, but I want to get good ones for when they go bad. When you work construction and you're, you know, doing that type of business, you're gonna burn through work boots. You're gonna, just depending on how much work you do that year, depending on the quality of the boot, depending on the type of stitching, depending on how it's screwed, how it's nailed, the type of leather, all that stuff plays a huge part. It's why I usually like between 180 stitch and a 360 good ear welt, like, where it's stitched all the way around. It's always really good. Yeah. So like these would be a 360 Goodyear welt. You can see the stitch going all the way. It goes all the way around. My Red Wings go up to here, but the heels are screwed in, and they're solid leather, like complete leather. So they last for a long time because real leather is so much better than synthetic stuff. Like it's made to be warped and warped and warped and warped and not crack, especially if you oil it. As long as you oil it, then it doesn't like think about like even like when skin is on an animal, right? It doesn't start cracking unless it's like not moisturized and stuff, but your body um, makes oils and stuff for the skin. So as long as you're oiling it and keeping good care of it, man, it'll last a long time. I have no sense of smell from chronic. I don't know what that is. That caused polyps to develop in my sinus cavity. I'd love to be more into colognes, but it's kind of pointless. Yeah, but you know what though? And I hate to say it like this because I know you're not going to be able to get to smell. It sucks, man, because I wanna tell you to just, wear it because of other people, but you'd hate to pick the wrong one if you can't smell it. Wear some shit. But no, if you would need some recommendations of a really good one that you can't go wrong with, I can definitely give you that. Like one that's just good for everybody. That's what I would recommend for you because then you already know it's good and people are gonna like it. A crowd pleaser. Dukes of Hazard with the 2 bones. You got me to go to Macy's and try out clones. Hell yeah. See, I'm finally starting to leave a mark on you guys. Damn it, I've been waiting for a comment like that for 6 months. It's about damn time. It only took about 6 months of pushing fragrances down your guys' throats. Leather, a great fragrance. That and that. Okay. Haven't been to a mall in 5 years. Well, you don't have like so what you can do if you guys want to know how to just do it at home is one, you can order samples. Samples are like this. It's only a couple bucks. All right. So you pick out a few fragrances that you hear are really good quality. Like you can watch like my channel, right? Like I've talked about them. I definitely still have a video coming if I ever finish it. I started it and then I didn't finish it. But so that's coming soon. And there are all going to be bangers on that list, all 10 out of 10s. But if you watch a fragrance channel, they'll tell you which ones are really good. You get a sample of like a bunch of the ones that sound like they appeal to you, because they're going to give you the note breakdowns. They're going to tell you what the smell is. You know, like some of them are nutty, some of them are spicy, some of them, are leathery. Like I have great leather fragrances. I have great tobacco fragrances. There's so many different kinds of fragrances. So you need to find what works for you. Um, Hollister SoCal is a great cheaper fragrance. Well, my favorite cheap fragrances, probably my favorite of all, especially for a summer fragrance, is probably Nautica Voyage. That stuff is an absolute crowd pleaser. It is an absolute banger. It's a cucumber fragrance, but damn it, it smells so good, so damn good. Everybody that I've ever let smell it like just loves it. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of great budget fragrances out there. We talking perfumes or knives or what's going on here? We're about to close up, Billy. We can talk a little bit of knives before we completely shut it down since Mike's not going live tonight. Um, I almost bought $1,000 what? I almost bought $1,000. You almost bought $1,000? I'll work on it. I do have a bonus coming up. There you go. There you go. Jared is into colognes too. He has a scent of the day segment. Yeah, I usually just try to get through it quick because I know some of you guys don't like it, but I know a lot of you guys do like it. Like I've had a lot of you guys messaging me in the back end where we can talk fragrances, but I know some of you stinky fuckers don't really like fragrances, so I try to get through it pretty quick. Like I didn't do the note breakdown or nothing when I talked about this one. I just told you what I thought it smelled like. Springtime fragrances are going to be fresh, sweet. There's some sweet, depends on the sweet, because there's different kinds of sweet. There's I would say stick with a blue fragrance. Like now, so in colder weathers, you want to stick with warmer smells. So like there's different types of fragrances that do better in different types of environments. But spring, it's starting to get nice out. It's not that cold, right? It's starting to feel good. It's nice and sunny. You want a blue fragrance. Blue speaks or is talking about fresh. It's fresh out of the shower gel type of smell. Crowd pleasers. It's a smell that's just nice and fresh. Most of them are citrusy. They have a citrus note, a fresh note. Some of them have a little bit of sweetness to it, like this one. Um, some bangers. Blue de Chanel. Uh, Technically, Sauvage would be a blue fragrance. The Eau de Parfum. Like I said, this one's a good one. Aqua Kenzo. I linked it down in the description. A lot more affordable than the other two I just mentioned. But Bleu de Chanel is pretty affordable. Oh damn! I think this is the first live in a long time I didn't try to sell someone the idea of buying a kukri. That's not true. You actually were speaking about it earlier. Throwing knives. You remember? You think Tom Ford stuff is worth some crazy money? No, I don't. However, kind of like knives, when you find that fragrance that just like it fucking does something for you, it's worth it for you. The problem is that you need to buy the samples first on fragrances like that. Those are very expensive. So before you shell out the money for it, make sure you absolutely love it. Now, I would say don't buy a small sample like this. Buy a little bit bigger one that has a spray so you can get the real effect of the spray, because that's going to be a little bit different than these guys. These guys kind of suck, gotta dab it and rub it on and smell it. But, uh, but yeah, some of them are really, really good. Like, they are well known for being quality oil, quality, quality fragrance, but is it worth it? No, it's not. There's a lot of bangers out there that are very, very affordable. However, like I said, though, if it happened to be your signature scent, right, and everybody around you loved it, and you loved it, and it made you feel good, is it worth the money? I think so at that point. Aloha! No, I've never been to Hawaii. Hawaii. I've never been there. To Mexico and Belize and Cozumel and, Honduras, but no, I've never been. Yes, I have a little bit of Creed. I only have a sample of it, but what I do have is clones of it. I got a really, really good clone. I personally can't tell the difference, but I guess the one little difference between the Creed Avantis I have and the clone I have is some people say the knockoff has, what's it called? A more chemical smell, but it's very subtle and it goes away really quick because, everything dries down. And that's just because Creative Mantis is gonna be made with a lot better quality oils, but I'll tell you what, man, you show it to 2 people, they're not gonna know the difference. Like, I couldn't tell the difference. You have to really have a fragrance nose to get the difference. Fragrances smell different on everyone, yes. It usually depends on how much body heat you put off or in your natural stinky, it will smell. Or if you're naturally stinky, it will smell different. Yeah, you, you 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 are also in different environments. So different environments do better with different fragrances. Like say colder areas are going to do better than are going to be different than hotter areas, right? The type of clothes you wear, everything. Like you can wear a fragrance anytime, any fragrance anytime. But there's certain fragrances that just do better in certain occasions. It's kinda like a leather fragrance, right? If you're wearing a leather fragrance, that'd be a nice time to be dressed up, to be looking good, not that you can't put on a leather fragrance if you're just wearing a jacket out to the gas station, but, when you're in a leather and you're feeling really good, you got your suede boots on and stuff like that, that'd be a nice time to have a leather fragrance on. And I'm just giving you as an example. Wait a minute, I think some Tom Ford is great, but $300 is ridiculous, but yes, I still end up yeah. I mean, when you know how much the it actually it costs, how much it takes to make it, that's why I'm saying it, because I know how much it takes to make the bottle. Yes, it's an absolute ripoff, but like I said, though, when you got a masterpiece now there are some amazing knockoffs, and in the fragrance world, you can't patent a fragrance. Right? You can patent the bottle, but you can't patent the smell. So that's why they can clone them legally. Yeah, harsher openings, right. Yeah, that's the way the clone I have. It's a little tiny bit harsher. But like I said, man, it's so similar. Like if I spray it, I had a little bit on here, a little bit on here from the clone and the real thing, and I couldn't tell the difference. Now, like I said, certain people that are really, really good at, doing note breakdowns with their nose, they can tell the difference, but it's very difficult. I quit buying cologne at the flea market. It just don't seem the same. Yep, that's the one that I have that smells, just like Creed Avantis, the Club D Nui Intense. Yeah, that one. I have another one. I have like 2 or 3 that are clones of it, but that one's the best clone of it. Fact, don't forget, discount up. Yeah, definitely go to discounters. I usually link just from Amazon, but some of them are so cheap, like some of them. Oh, wow, we have a donation right here coming again. I hear the detent on Tom Ford is weak. That's hilarious. I'll tell you, this one is just a clicky one. It's not a magnetic one. I love magnetic tops. Wow, wow, wow. All right, guys. I want to shout out all the patron members. Thank you guys for all the support. I know I still have to upload the giveaway video and also um, Members, don't forget tomorrow at 12:15, we're going live, 12:15 Central Time, 12:15 Central Time, we're gonna do a live sharpening, and, I gotta go eat, guys. So, I love you guys, thank you guys for all the support, thank you guys for all the donations, thank you guys for hanging out with me, thank you guys for being here, thank you guys for talking fragrances with me. I love you guys, and thank you guys again for all the support with the you know what. It does I really do appreciate it. It feels good knowing you got the community behind you on certain things, right? I try to have you guys' back on certain things, and it's nice to know you guys have my back too. I love you guys. Peace.